We are ready for opening day from Petco Park in San Diego. Sun-splashed Petco Park, and not a cloud in the sky as we get this game started today. And it's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 68 glorious degrees, northwest breeze at 10 miles per hour. And here comes Clayton Richard and the San Diego Padres for 2018. Richard getting the opening day nod, signing the contract extension during the offseason, and ready to pitch here today in his first career opening day start. As the Padres have taken the hill, let's check the Brewers starting lineup, and Craig Counsell's starting nine. Lorenzo Cain coming over from the Kansas City Royals. He will lead it off and be in center field. Christian Yelich from the Miami Marlins, now a member of the Milwaukee Brewers, and in left with Brian Braun at first base. Travis Shaw, who had 31 home runs last year, at third base. Domingo Santana, 30 home runs. He's in right field. Manny Pena doing the catching with Jonathan VR at second base. Orlando Arcia at shortstop bats eighth. And Chase Anderson on the mound for the Brew Crew, coming in here for a 3-game series. And on the mound, as previously mentioned, making his first opening day start is Clayton Richard.
The 34-year-old, the left-hander, is the guy you want out there. You pretty much know what you're going to get when Clayton Richard, because he prepares so well for each and individual start. He's got the sinker, slider, and changeup. Ground ball specialist, we know that. One of the best in baseball. And his best pickoff move, we're going to see 8 pickoffs in 2017, led all of Major League Baseball. Here's the Padres defense, brought to you by Humana. Behind Clayton Richard, in left field to right field, Jose Pirela. Manuel Margot, familiar out there at Petco Park. Will Myers starting in right field. Shoring up the defense at shortstop is Freddie Galvis. You see number 13. Chase Headley, the veteran, over at third base. At second base, Carlos Osuaje. The Gold Glover, Eric Hosmer at first. Sitting like a frog today, giving the signs to Clayton Richard, is Austin Hedges. And Clayton Richard about to throw the first pitch of 2018, coming right at you, folks.
Lorenzo Cain about to lead it off here for the Milwaukee Brewers. One of the big pickups for the Brewers during the offseason that they are certainly excited about to begin the year. And both these franchises beginning in '69, as this one grounded foul down the third base line, and that was very close. Now the Brewers broke in as Seattle Pilots that first season before moving to Milwaukee in 1970, their franchise. First time since 2013 the Padres will face an opponent on opening day that isn't the Dodgers. San Diego has lost 3 straight openers and looking to snap that today. You look at the numbers for Lorenzo Cain a year ago in Kansas City, and a liner into center field starts opening day. Base hit for Lorenzo Cain in his first AB in a Brewers uniform.
Right off the top, these Brewers, Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, are going to bring some pop to this lineup. They can hit for average. They can split the gaps. Right-handed hitting Cain, left-handed hitting Yelich. Now approaching the plate, but he stayed on that pitch nicely, rocketing it towards center field.
So Cain aboard, always a threat to take off as he gains that lead over at first base. And here's Christian Yelich, first pitch swinging, foul. Hedges coming back, and he won't have a play. Now the Brewers finished just 1 game out of the second National League wild card spot in 2017. Built on that success by adding Yelich and Cain during the offseason. Both career .290 hitters. That should certainly help Milwaukee this year.
Well, the one thing about Kane, boy, he's keeping up with his career average against left-handed pitching through his career. .303 average. Leads off with a knock.
They're just trying to frame that outside corner. A couple of former teammates in Hosmer and Kane over at first base. As Lorenzo Cain gains that lead again, the lead's not been terribly large.
Oh, they know the scouting report on Clayton Richard. There's no doubt. Very, very short lead. Now the Brewers hoping that Cain and Yelich can pad the numbers for the Brewers. Last year they were 21 in average in Major League Baseball. On base percentage at 17%. So the acquisition via the trade and the 5-year deal for Cain. I tell you, the Brewers are going to be a good ball club.
Ryan Braun, of course, back, making his 11th opening day start. And Braun batting in the 3 spot. Only Robin Yount with 19 and Paul Molitor with 12 have made more opening day starts while wearing a Brewers uniform. Pretty special for Ryan Braun.
Good company right there.
He's on deck. Cain at first as Richard battling here. Count of 1-2 to Christian Yelich. First to check over at first, and part of the reason that lead for Cain is so short, the very good move of Clayton Richard.
8 pickoffs last year in 2017, led all of Major League Baseball in that category. That'll shut down the running game. It's a guessing game over there. And you know what, Don, you speak of the running game. It's something, I'm not going to say it's gone by the wayside, but with the way guys are lifting and separating these days, launch angle, a lot of managers have taken the hit and run out just because of that reason. There's not many guys out there. There are some that can manipulate the bat on a hit and run to where they hook that ball through the hole. They can work that magic wand to where the ball is pitched to try to advance first to third. You just don't see that often.
Not a bad combination here, though, with Cain and Yelich, as Yelich strikes out here. First K of the year for Clayton Richard. So 1 down here in the first inning. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Oh, I love keys. And the keys for this Padre ball club, early support for Clayton Richard. Why not? Give him some breathing room, and no love for the new guys. Lorenzo Cain, he has singled. Hopefully he's left stranded, and a good start against Christian Yelich, giving him the punchy.
So 1 out, Cain at first, and Ryan Braun starting at first base here on opening day. First regular season start there at any level. Hasn't played in the infield since playing third base his rookie year, which was 2007. So a change here for Braun, and playing at first base, that pushes Travis Shaw from first base to third base for the Brew Crew. Shaw, who had 31 home runs last year and over 100 RBIs, 101, so he's got to stay on the lineup for sure. Great year last year, great player. To third, and nicely picked by Headley. The second for 1, on to first for 2. That's a pretty DP, started by Chase Headley in his return to San Diego at third base. That ball exploded on Headley at third, and around the horn they go. See here if the Brewers are going to take a look at this. Close play at first on the back end of the 5-4-3 twin killing. They are not going to challenge. The DP ends the top of the first inning. Ball brought to you by Hyundai. Get a great deal, more than a great deal, at the Hyundai Season and More event going on now. Offer ends April the 2nd. And by Tough Turtle Turf, full landscape design company. Back at Petco Park in San Diego, Andy Green ready to roll out his starting 9. And Will Margot going to lead it off with Will Myers in right, Hosmer at first, Perella in left, Swahe at second, Headley at third baseman. A great play. Galvis at short, Hedges does the catching, and Richard batting out of the 9 spot. Of course, the Padres lineup was brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. And Will Margot leading it off here for the Padres, dealing with Chase Anderson, and he carves that one foul to even the count at 1-1.
That was one heck of a double play turn.
Incredible.
Hot smash backhand by Headley around the horn. As you mentioned, that was pretty.
Well, great to have Chase Headley back at third base for the San Diego Padres, and making his presence felt almost immediately here on this opening day in his return.
And I'm sure the veteran third baseman is glad to get that one out of the way as well. He's seen that play too many times.
Margot in his second full season in the major leagues, and 263, 13 homers, 39 runs batted in last year, and I think he's only going to go up from there.
You know, I have to agree with Mark Sweeney when he said he's all-star potential, don't you think?
No question. Back up the middle, Arcia, nice rangy play, and his throw is just in time. Nice play, ended up going from shortstop in behind second base to retrieve that, and Margot retired. Starter today for the Brewers, Chase Anderson.
Well, the 30-year-old really great strides last year. A couple of pitches. He used to be just a 2-pitch pitcher, but now 4-pitch fastball, curveball, cutter, and a changeup. He's added also a few more ticks on the velocity last year, up 4 miles an hour. And believe me, as a hitter and as a pitcher, that will make a big-time difference. Did a great year last year, going 12-4, and a nice ERA of 2.74.
One down for Will Myers, who sends one foul down the right field line out of play.
And the defense for the Brewers behind Anderson, brought to you by Cadillac. Left to right via the trade from Miami, Christian Yelich. The 5-year deal by Lorenzo Cain in center, Domingo Santana in right. Infield, Shaw moves over to third. Arcia at shortstop, Jonathan Villar at second base. Ryan Braun, the slugger, over at first. Behind the plate, Manny Pena.
Myers batting in the 2 spot. We kind of saw this take shape in the last week or so, spring training, where he would bat second and Hosmer batting third. Then we get them both up in the first inning. And Will with some protection around him for a change as well. Strikes out this time in his first at bat of the season. First strikeout for Chase Anderson. 2 down, and here comes Eric Hosmer. So Eric Hosmer batting for the first time in a Padres uniform.
Don, you make a good point. You know, if Hosmer gets hot, like we know he can, and you mentioned protection, the pitches that Will Myers will get, if in fact second and third in the order, you know, you get somebody on first base, Manuel Margot with some speed, feed him some fastballs. Will Myers being in the middle of that sandwich, that could potentially be a nice 1-2-3 combination for San Diego.
Now Hosmer selecting the Padres during the offseason. Kind of an arduous process for him, trying to decide where he's going to play for the remainder of his career, and wanted to come here, a place that he's had success, albeit in a small sample size, but he's had some very good games here, including the All-Star game.
I think that plays huge when a player chooses where he wants to play. The certain venue, how you see the baseball, how the ball works off the bat, looking down the road, and what the plan of the ball club is.
Yes.
He's got all the intangibles. He's got the resume. Mentioned that in our open.
Which is contract and team history. Sits safely in all 8 games he's played here at Petco Park. .441 average in this ballpark. Swing and a miss, and Hosmer strikes out to end the inning. Back-to-back Ks for Chase Anderson. Done with one on opening day without a score. Scoreless as we head into inning number 2, and Travis Shaw going to lead it off here for the Brewers. Mentioned last inning, 31 home runs for him, 101 RBIs a year ago, and makes the move to third base. And Braun at first base. They are the numbers go along with a 273 average a year ago. Clayton Richard worked his way around a leadoff hit by Lorenzo Cain in the first inning. The strikeout of Yelich, and they got Braun to bounce into the 5-4-3.
Oh, in the 2+ years for Shaw, you talk about him over at the third base area, the hot corner. Going into this year, he's played 256 games over there, the most. He's played 106 over at first base and a little bit in the outfield, only a couple games. You know, down the bottom line, I think athleticism, athletic, right? I think that's what he falls into that category. So it might not take that long for him to make that adjustment. He's very familiar with third base.
Right to Galvis at short. That's the first down of the second inning. It's time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
I love trivia.
Who was the Padres opening day starter in their inaugural season of 1969?
I think I know that one, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil it for everybody.
One down here in the second inning brings up Domingo Santana. Opposite field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Milwaukee. We had one out, one on here for the Brewers in the second inning.
How do you avoid the strikeout? You offer the first pitch, and how do you get on base? If you got something up in the zone against Clayton Richard, looking on contact, that's maybe a ball or maybe a ball and a half above the knee. And I would just have to guess, as a hitter, if you're going to get a pitch like that against the guy who's got a 60% ground ball rate, you better hack at it. And he hits the hole nicely on the right side. Not trying to pull him. If he tries to pull that, it's a grounder.
One down, Santana at first, and Manny Pena, catcher for the Brewers. And a one hopper to short. Oh! Galvis to second for one and a hop to first. It's another double play. Headley last inning, Galvis this inning. Tremendous play. Double play in the first, double play in the second. Galvis to a Suaje on a hop. On to first to Hosmer. DP inning over. The third member of our broadcast team, Bob Scanlon.
Clayton Richard on the mound today. There's nobody more excited than the people I have next to me right here. I'm joined by his wife, Ashley, his father, Barry. Thank you so much for joining us. Ashley, I want to start with you. How excited was Clayton when he found out that he was going to get the opening day start?
Well, you guys know he's Mr. Even cool, but even he was so excited. He's so just excited about this season and this team, and obviously we're really proud of him. But yes, he did show some emotion, so he was excited.
Did he get any sleep last night?
I didn't, but every time I looked at him, his eyes were shut, so I think he's good. He's ready to go no matter what. He was ready.
Sounds great. It's opening day. It's an exciting day. But Barry, you were telling me this is the first opening day that you've been to. How exciting is it? How proud are you to see your son out there?
It's amazing, and obviously why it's so exciting and so thrilling for us, as Clayton shares with me all the time. It's the 2018 Padres, what they as a team, and both innings so far you've seen, it's the defense that's going to make the difference in 2018 for the Padres to be a winning team.
Now we know where the team concept from Clayton Richard comes from. Barry, he's talked so much about his work ethic, how important that has been to him, and every time he does, he mentions you. Tell us a little bit about his upbringing. You were a police officer. Yeah, you raised troubled youth as well. Tell us about Clayton and the effort that he put in and how you shaped him into the man he is today.
I think he realizes and he stays grounded because he realizes that the work you need to put in to be successful. As I always told him, you know, a good athlete can always make a team, whether it be high school or whatever team they're going for, but it's those who really get to excel and flourish are the ones who work out in the backyard and really put the effort into it when nobody else is watching. That's what makes it count, and the integrity that he has as a person, that's what we're most proud of.
We know where he gets it from. Ashley, you've been through everything with Clayton. You've been through the ups, you've been through the downs. How difficult was it when he was going through all those shoulder issues? And we know the confident guy that he is. Was there ever a point where he thought, maybe this isn't going to work out?
Yeah, we had just had Cannon in 2013, and he came home, and I do remember the night he had been over at your house, and he was like, "I'm done. I think I'm done. Like, I think I'm ready to move on and go to Plan B." And it was hard because this is their dream. This is what he's worked on forever. But we figured out what was wrong. I think you guys he and Chris Young and me and Google figured out that he needed thoracic outlet. And he totally took charge of that from that point on. He's done his physical therapy. He's owned his workouts. He's changed his nutrition. And he's just, changed. He's grown up and, totally just respects the game, respects Andy. And from top down the Padres, we are so thankful to be back and just to be a part of this wonderful group.
And you guys have been very excited to see the ground ball double plays so far.
We love double plays.
Hey,
Padre baseball, and that's what it's about, is team.
congratulations, both of you had a huge part in what we're experiencing here today. Congratulations. Don, Matt, back up to you.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Great to see them both. We got to know Terry very well last year. The father's trip last season with the Padres, a terrific guy and a great role model, certainly for Clayton.
How much more can you say after that? I mean, Dad said it all. His wife Ashley said it all. He's prepared.
Chase Headley batting here with a shift employed by the Brewers on the right side. And Morella grounded out, Suaje grounded out, and Headley battling here. And a full count. These are the kinds of at-bats we saw during the spring. Lengthy at-bats, deep into counts. There's a look at the shift. Flares it foul the other way down the left field line.
Boy, Chase Headley's so used to hitting at the new Yankee Stadium, where would it be fair to say it's like hitting on the moon?
I don't think it's quite that good, but it's.
But they got that jet stream out in right center field. The ball has a tendency to jump. I think Chase Headley doesn't have in mind hitting home runs each and every time, just squaring it up, hard line drives, hard grounders.
There's ball 4 with 2 down. First base runner of the year for the Padres, Chase Headley. It's time now to answer our Valley View Casino trivia question. The question was, who was the first starter on opening day for the Padres in their inaugural season of 1969? Dick Selma pitched a complete game in the Padres' 2-1 win over the Houston Astros. Is that who you're going to guess, Mike?
That's who I was going to guess.
You would have been correct.
I know who the first home run by the Padres was. Eddie Spezio.
Nice. 2 down with Headley at first and Freddie Galvis in his first Padres at bat.
Was that some leather by Freddie Galvis?
That was pretty special. Yeah, I thought he had just knocked it down, but apparently he had it the whole time.
Yep.
He's a guy who played in every game last year in his final season with the Philadelphia Phillies. 162 games, had 12 homers, 61 runs batted in, and finished up hitting at .255. Now the Padres shortstop. Elevates and Galvis chases.
I think you're going to see a lot of that, not just from Chase Anderson, but a lot of pitchers in the National League throughout baseball as well. The high fastball. Boy, how the game is changing over the last few years. You talk spin rate, you talk launch angles, guys trying to lift and separate. How do you counter that as a pitcher? You go up the ladder.
It looked like a pretty good pitch, but because Pena had to kind of reach across his body, ends up being inside.
Good call.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Galvis, 2 down with Headley at first base.
Going with the changeup.
Galvis hits it in the air to center field. Lorenzo Cain's got it sized up. He's coming in, and he'll take care of it for out number 3. Through 2 without a score. When we come back, Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman will be in the house. It's Trevor time. Day 2018, and it is an honor to have with us in the booth Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman. As promised, Trevor, great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. That had a nice ring to it, Don. I can't lie to you.
That's never going to get old, is it?
I hope not.
Introduction, Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman.
It's pretty cool. Obviously getting a chance to see Tony do his work for so many years and how humble he was about it. It was such a neat thing to be able to see from the outside looking in, and now to be a part of it it's hard to describe.
Tell us what that day was like for you. We all watched the video of you being home and getting the call, but what was it like for Trevor Hoffman?
I've told the story a little bit, but you got a little glimpse into our world with Glenn flipping his hat around. I'll let you talk about the punch out. That was awesome too, right there. But he flips the hat around. He catches the first pitch today. I'm sure we'll get to that. But we're sitting in the room, and we're within the 30-minute window where we could get the phone call, and Eric Meyer goes, "All right, we're in that window. Be ready." And so everybody kind of didn't know what to do after 2 seconds. Like, we need to be quiet. He decides to call my cell phone. It rings. Everybody thinks the call's coming in, and I go, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's just Glenn Hoffman." He's such a nerd. It's awesome.
Well, today you throw out the first pitch to him. That had to be pretty incredible too.
You know what? I got the heart racing again. It's not as easy as I always thought it would be. It's no big deal to flip it in there, but you haven't really been throwing, and there's no L screen, there's no turtle. It's kind of wide open spaces, so I'm glad I didn't bounce. I threatened to bounce him, but we didn't.
Back to Richard, and he'll flip underhanded to first. 2 down in the inning. We'll get a look at that ceremonial first pitch today.
I was working on the high heater. You know, that they're starting to call that high strike zone, so I four-seamed the high heater. And I think Glenn did a nice job of framing. He's going to get some high nods for that frame job he did for me.
So now let me ask you something. Was it feeling like an ice pick in that shoulder? How tough was it to get up top?
I was worried about slipping on the mound more than anything. But yes, ice picks are there full time. I can't get rid of those. That's part of the downside.
Well, Chase Anderson batting here with 2 down in the inning. What was it like going to Cooperstown when you made the visit right after the announcement?
You know what? The media obligations were in the city, and so they flew us red eye out of here. I got a chance to meet Chipper and Vlad and Jim, and not having had much interaction with them throughout my career, it just was awesome to have that moment with them and to see how normal they were and how humble everybody was towards the process. And we're actually heading back next week for Cooperstown to go through our orientation and kind of get a lay of the land other than what we've seen through Hall of Fame games. But super exciting time, and it was fun to meet all the guys.
Was there a point when all three of you were sitting down and you just kind of looked at one another and went, guys, can you believe this? When we
were introduced at the media obligation at the St. Regis, and we're sitting up on stage, and Jeff's about ready to introduce everybody, it was kind of that where you kind of look back and forth and going, we're here. We're actually here.
Chase Anderson with a liner into center field. A 2-out base hit.
Pitchers can hit, man.
Pitchers can hit. Best athletes on the field.
Yeah. Smartest anyway, that's for sure. That's what you always tell me anyway.
Just ask us.
I know you enjoyed being around spring training too. That's fun for you, it seems.
You know what? It's not just a way of giving back. It's a giving back to me. A lot of the guys, they finish their career and they take that uniform off and they don't get a chance to get the juices flowing again, in a sense. And so to really have that privilege to be putting the Padre uniform on and to interact with the young guys, and Andy did a nice job putting me into a space where I had 20 minutes with some of the younger guys on a daily basis for about a week and a half. And there was no real agenda. It was kind of talk about our pitching principles and kind of whatever came of that organically, what their questions were and other things that I might have seen. It was a great way of getting to know the Joey Lucchese's of the world and Eric Lauers and guys like that. So really fortunate to have that go on.
Joey Lucchese starting here tomorrow, somewhat of a surprise. That's exciting, though, about the youth of this organization right now.
I think it's a great thing. I think, regardless of, it's speeding up or whatnot, he earned it. And I think it's fabulous that I saw him earlier. He's very calm and cool and collected right now. And he kind of talked about my opening day and Randy Jones' opening day. And Randy goes, yeah, I gave up a homer to Willie Mays. I go, buddy, you don't have to worry about Willie Mays on the other side. And then he goes, well, the next week it was Hank Aaron. I go, Randy, you're scaring the kid.
Leave it to RJ.
It was great, but he's I think it's great. It says a little bit to how our player development's doing things down there and the influx of young talent that we're going to get to see.
2 down here in the first. Chase Anderson, the pitcher at first, and Lorenzo Cain getting his second look here at Clayton Richard. Lined into left field for a base hit, and Anderson will take second base. All of a sudden, the Brewers have something going here with 2 down in the inning.
Trevor, something you've said before, and I want to ask you if when you talk to the youngsters, do you relate to them how proud you should be to have Padres on your chest?
Absolutely.
Wearing that jersey. Talk about that.
Absolutely. I think it's a rich history that they're getting to know. A lot of them haven't been drafted by us, but just to kind of give them perspective on how special it is to be in San Diego and the type of fans that they're going to have an opportunity to play in front of, how special it is to be in San Diego in general and all the history behind it. It's something that's first and foremost to try and pass on to a lot of the kids.
You could tell from a lot of the young Padres seeing guys like yourself around in spring training, it meant a lot to them to have really the legends of this organization there.
I think it's helpful, and you try and be as normal as you possibly can. I think that idea of it's their career, they're looking for nuggets that can hopefully influence them and get them to the next level and empower their careers. And it's not about, hey, let me tell you, hey, son, come in, sit down, let's talk about my career. Hey, how am I doing type of thing.
Let's talk about me.
More about me. They don't want to hear that. So it's cool to kind of get an idea where they're at, where they're from, let them do some talking.
Now Richard here 0-2 ahead of Yelich, and this one to left. Perella coming in. That's going to fall for a base hit. Trying to score is Anderson. Throw to the plate is not going to be in time, and the Brewers jump on top 1-0. And Anderson, the pitcher, has come up lame here. I'm not sure if he got dirt in his eye or what on the slide. He has popped up and Now he's going to need some attention from the trainer as the Brewers have taken a 1-0 advantage.
This looks like one of those swings from Yelich. Let's check it out. Big swing, big swing. So it may have fooled Perella a little bit. Gets it on the short hop. Now the race is on. Ooh.
Ooh, face first look like there on the slide.
And you know what? Looked like the front one of those ankles kind of got twisted a little bit too. His head. Boy, does his head hit the plate in his helmet, then hit his face? Yeah.
That didn't look good.
Not pretty.
That was a little bit of a headbanger for sure.
A tremendous start for him through the first couple of innings. Couple of strikeouts. Got Myers and Hosmer back to back, but here in the slide, giving the Brewers a painful 1-0 lead. And it brings up Ryan Braun. That's the one thing you were talking about a month before about the guys that are there, but when you get there in July, what it's going to be like to look around and see those other faces of Hall of Famers, that's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I'll try and keep the idea when I was playing, put the hat down low and try not to look up, but you know, the magnitude of the moment will certainly be impactful, and to be around the legends of the game and think of the icons before that, it'll be surreal.
You know, my question to you, Trevor, after that event takes place, I would like to hear from you that one Hall of Famer that walks in the room and everybody, even the Hall of Famers themselves, are going, whoa.
Yeah.
Because it was, I remember asking, I forgot who it was, but it was Johnny Bench or somebody, and he said it was Ted Williams, and it was Joe DiMaggio. When those guys walked in the room, even the Hall of Famers themselves, it was like quiet. And it was like, oh my gosh, there's Joe D. There's the splendid Splinter. Even for those guys.
It's so cool.
No doubt. And I don't think you get ready for that. You know, there's going to be that awe moment, and it's going to be the whole time on back there, let's face it. But I think getting a chance to shoot up next to Tone and to know his impact in the game and how humble he was will certainly help with not being too awestruck, but there's no way about it. The impact that these guys had in the game is going to be incredible.
Have you started to work on your speech yet?
A little bit, and the way I've worked on it is just try and think of a common theme that I can somewhat keep referring back to throughout the process. I've never had a situation where I have enough content and I have to whittle it down. It's always been, how in the heck am I going to fill 30 minutes with this audience? And now it's like, no, you only get 10 minutes and you need to whittle it all down.
10 minutes.
18-year career in 10 minutes. So I think partly, you know, they'd like it to be in that range. Greg Maddux, I think, is the only one in recent time that's gone into that window. But yeah, you have a lot of guys waiting behind you, and you don't, you know, last it being me, a young rookie, to take up their time, put it that way.
The base is filled here with Brewers on top 1-0. And a big spot here, and it's 1-1 now. Shaw swinging over the top. Tough spot for Clayton Richard. 25th pitch of the inning coming up. It's Kane at third, Yelich at second, Braun at first with 2 outs in the inning. And a grounder rolled over to first. Hosmer's got it. He'll tag the bag. That'll end the inning. And we thank Trevor Hoffman. Congratulations,
Trevor.
Trevor.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Again, congratulations, Trevor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mud.
done to get out of that. A 1-0 advantage for the Brewers opening day. This place is fired up on a beautiful day in San Diego. You hear that about another 81 more times this year.
Believe that.
As leading it off for the Padres here in the inning is Austin Hedges. And I guess good to see Chase Anderson back on the mound after that awkward slide that put him in a tough spot.
That was not pretty. I was concerned about the feet, the ankles, the knees.
There's a lot of stuff going on in that slide.
It was a yard sale at home plate. And then the helmet, and he touches, I don't know whether it was the dirt or home plate with the helmet, and then comes up grabbing his eyes. Looks like he's okay.
Are there any ill effects here as this inning starts? We've got Hedges, Richard, and Margot anticipated here in the third inning. They pitched so well through the first 2 innings, allowing only a base on balls and a couple of strikeouts, and you can add to his strikeout total. Hedges, the 3rd K of the day now for Chase Anderson. Join T-Mobile and score free MLB.tv all season long. Sign up now through April the 2nd at T-Mobile.com/MLB. 1 out here in the 3rd, and here is Clayton Richard for the first time. Good hitting pitcher. Good athlete all the way around.
Oh, he's tremendous. He's one of those guys, and you know as well, Don, that you pencil his name every 5th day. You know you don't have to check up on him in between. As we mentioned with his wife and with his dad, as Bob Scanlon reported, he gets prepared. The scouting report, the activities, the physical work, the mental preparation. It's what Clayton does, and it's nice to have a guy like that on your staff. And by the way, can I editorialize on something?
Yes.
You are looking wee dapper in a 3-piece.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
I'll tell you, the buttons on that vest are the hardest working buttons in San Diego County.
What are you saying?
Oh, my gosh.
What is it you're saying? You're saying they're a little stressed?
Isn't this vest part supposed to be flush against that part? It's kind of like, look at
it's bubbling.
But you look very dapper.
I am packed into this thing like a sausage. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I like your suspenders.
Braces.
Nice. Does that mean no belts this year, or what's
Oh,
the deal?
yeah.
Larry King all of a sudden, or what's going on?
The announcers are Sillo. The book is named Why Am I Here? Let's go to Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're on the air. Go ahead. Oh, my bad. Topeka, Kansas.
2 down here in the inning, and Manuel Margot.
You look nice.
Here. Thank you. It's great to see Trevor. How good a guy is Trevor Hoffman.
He is the best. He is. Humble as they come. A guy's guy. True class act. Gentleman. Great family.
On the corner, and it's 2-1 down to Margot.
You know, the curveball's been working well for Anderson this afternoon. And after running the bases, that's what I always like to look at. After running the bases, a guy out on the hill, can he still get through his pitches? Does he still have the same effect on those pitches? And the high fastball is there. The curveball is there as well. Because believe me, the legs get heavy. When you're a pitcher and you're not used to running the bases like that, you're sent on your way, even from second base. It takes a lot out of you.
Well, the Brewers last year had 3 pitchers get injured at the plate or on the bases last year, so it's something that they are familiar with. Anderson was one of those guys. He had an oblique injury at the plate at Cincinnati, so he has had problems in the past running the bases and trying to score.
A lot of people use that argument as to why the National League should go to the DH. That is one of the arguments. I like the pitcher hitting. It makes it interesting. A manager has to maneuver, work that roster, manage that roster. Double switches, pinch hitting.
I like it too. I'm with you.
Bullpen.
It's a different game.
Sure is. That's a good layoff right there by Manuel.
Margot bounced out to the shortstop, Orlando Arcia, in the first inning. And he'll take the walk this time with 2 down in the inning. Second walk on by Anderson in his outing.
Hey, that's a great at-bat. Why? 8 and 9, strikeout, 2 quick outs. Flip it over, even draw a walk. Now you got the big boys coming up, Myers, Hosmer. Hopefully something comes of it.
Myers a strikeout victim in the first inning. One of now 4 strikeouts orchestrated by Chase Anderson in his outing.
You know, Don, I think that might be part of the maturation process also of Manuel Margot, knowing that, oh, I got to get a hit, I got to hit. No, you can take a walk. I can pass it on to the next 2 guys, hopefully.
You know, Margot's speed is going to be something to keep an eye on this year, too. I get the feeling the more comfortable that he becomes here at the major league level, the more we may see him taking off at first base. It's a part of his game that you get the feeling is only going to get better as time goes on.
As time goes on, as we take a look at last year's numbers, he will get to know the pitchers. And believe me, he's watching tons of video, tendencies in the pitcher's delivery, certain counts. .1-0 curveball from Anderson. That just goes to show you how confident he is in throwing that number 2.
It's Myers now, Hosmer next if we get that far. There are 2 outs here. Well, Myers with 30 home runs a year ago. Starting to stop for Margot is going to have to get back to the bag, and he does. He took off like he was headed to second base on a steal and then barely got back.
That's some serious momentum going towards second base. Stutter step. Now you got to redirect. Outside part of the bag. And not even close. You can see Manuel's hand on the outside part of that first base bag. A longer swipe tag for the first baseman, Braun.
Myers to short left. Yelich coming in to make the catch that ends the inning. Padres will leave a base runner. Played 3. Brew Crew on top 1-0. And it is Domingo Santana who is going to lead it off. Santana with a single to right in the second inning. Pena then VR to face Richard. Richard getting into some trouble in the third. Pitched his way out of a bases loaded situation. This is to Galvis at short. He's 1 away here in the 4th inning.
Can't say enough about number 13 at shortstop. And we saw it right out of the get-go. We talked about that play. He is so smooth, and it was a nice visit that Freddie had with Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney on our pregame show. And one of the people that Freddie said he was very thankful for having as a coach was Larry Boa. Now, Larry Boa was one of the better shortstops in his day as well, as far as fielding percentage was concerned. And I know Mark Sweeney and I are big fans of Larry Boa. So it's almost as if when Larry Boa speaks about the talent of a player, you know it's spot on. But what a great addition to have that at shortstop in Freddie Galvis.
One down here in the 4th inning, and Manny Pena, the catcher, bounced into a 6-4-3 double play that was started by Freddie Galvis. Yeah, we had a lot of fun watching him during the spring. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to watch him during the course of the year. Been a position that has been ever changing for the Padres over the last.
You don't want the turnstile out there at shortstop. You want some continuity.
Was Alexei Ramirez 2 years ago. Last year, Eric Ibar. And Freddie Galvis here this year. And tremendous defensively. Also got a little bit of popping. Expect him to play every day. I mentioned he played in every game last year for the Philadelphia Phillies. Padres have turned 2 double plays in the game. Pena with 9 home runs last year and a .279 average. That's the nod here, catching on opening day for the Brewers. Stays alive, full count. Brewers getting a run on the Christian Yelich RBI single. And scored Chase Anderson. There's a pop-up back at third that's got Headley into foul ground. For out number 2. Time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
We're going to focus on the sinker, the great pitch from Clayton Richard that gets a lot of ground balls. When you talk about the ground balls, 60.2% ground ball percentage, led National League, ranked 2nd in the majors next to Marcus Stroman. And the double play forced 32 ground ball double plays. He's right where he left off last year. When in doubt, throw the sinker. He'll also mix in the slider and the changeup as well. But Mr. Sinker, Mr. Ground Ball, Clayton Richard.
As you mentioned, certainly with the infield as it is now and the improved defense, it certainly bodes pretty well for guys like Clayton Richard.
And infielders like to keep busy, right? And when you've got that ground ball pitcher out there, they're going to work for you. They're going to make some plays. They anticipate. They expect. When the ball is put in play, it's going to be hit on the ground and possibly their way.
BR with a healthy hack there.
There's a nice little slider there.
Got him off balance. Swing and a miss, and BR strikes out, climbed the ladder, picks up his 3rd K for Clayton Richard. 1-0 Brewers. with Padres manager Andy Green.
Andy, your impressions of Clayton Richard on the mound?
Good so far. A lot of ground balls. That's what he always does. The 2 double plays we turned first 2 innings for him are really nice, but it's good to have a defense behind him that's picking up the baseball. I know he doesn't want to give up the hit to Chase Anderson that allowed that 1 run to score, but overall he's been solid.
Second time around for the offense. What do you like to see against Chase Anderson?
Yeah, concede the breaking ball right now. We've chased it a lot. Give him that and then stay off the pitch up above the eyes because he's gotten us on those 2 things. I think we get him in the zone, we'll hit him.
Andy, thanks for the time.
Yep, thanks.
Well, Eric Hosmer leading it off here, grounding one right side into the shift, and a nifty play turned right there. Hosmer is out number 1 of the 4th inning. Orlando Arcia coming from the shortstop spot is part of the shift there, covering a ton of ground.
One thing that the Brewers are hoping to have that good defense behind Chase Anderson. He's going to be working down and getting those ground balls via the curveball or the fastball that is well located. And I think Andy Green made some great points, took the words right out of our mouths. The high fastball, Manuel Margot did that. Remember, he walked with 2 outs. He laid off the high fastball, got the walk. And Anderson's throwing that curveball any time.
Seems like that's kind of a tough pitch to lay off of. You see it so well.
Yes.
Jose Perella will take the strike over the inside corner. Grounded to the shortstop. Arcia first time up. Andy Green at the helm for his 3rd season. Fouled off down the right field line, out of play. Padres looking for their first hit of the season. They bat here with 1 down in the 4th inning. A couple have reached via the pass ball. Chase Headley in the 2nd, Manuel Margot in the 3rd. That's been it. Just off the outside edge, and Pena trying to frame it there.
That's that little cut fastball just off the plate.
Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire and crew chief.
Well, Chase Anderson used to be a 2-pitch pitcher. Then he incorporated 2 more pitches. The cutter, he throws the changeup, curveball, fastball. 2016, he was 9-11, below 500 with a 4.39 ERA. Boy, did he turn it around when he added those 2 other pitches. 12-4 last year with a 2.74. He's really turned the corner.
He missed 6 weeks last year with a strained oblique, but still managed to lead the Brewers starters with that 2.74 ERA that you mentioned. Local pitching coach Derek Johnson to hone in on the cutter and use his curveball more frequently. And becoming a 4-pitch starter.
Good spin, good action on the 12-6 curveball from Anderson. There it is there. Remember Andy Green talking to Mark Sweeney about conceding on the curveball? This is the one you got to lay off. Boy, out of the hand, it looks like it's going to be chest high, maybe belt buckle high, something you can rip, but a good layoff.
The bad 8th pitch of the AB coming up. And it's a grounder right side. There's the first hit of the season for the Padres. It belongs to Jose Perella. Very wide turn at first, but he's aboard with 1 away here in the 4th inning.
Going where the pitch was thrown. We know that Jose Perella can hit with pop. He can hit the gaps just out of the diving reach of Jonathan Villar. And there goes the no-hitter.
So a 1-out base runner here, and it brings up Carlos Asuaje. Rounded out to first base, first time up, 0 for 1. Involved in a pretty lengthy battle during the course of the spring with Corey Spangenberg for the starting job at second base and a roster spot, and they both end up making the club.
Great numbers all the way around.
Both of them, all spring.
It's a pick 'em.
We check it first, and again, Perella back to the bag.
think each one of them as well bring a little bit of something different to the table. Wouldn't you say so?
No question.
You know, Corey's got the speed. I think Carlos Asuaje has a little bit more on the on base percentage. And he's probably got a little bit more pop, although Corey can run into one. He can hit doubles as well.
Ron holding on Perella at first base with one out and another check. Keeping a very close eye on Jose Perella.
You know what else Carlos Asuaje possesses? He's got that it factor. He's got that confidence about him, doesn't he?
No question.
I mean, he's very sure of himself, which is a good thing.
Hosmer grounded out to begin the inning. Perella with a single to right field. One out, one on. Anderson working from the stretch for the few amount of time here during the game. As Asuaje with a swing and a miss. It's not been often that Anderson has been here from the stretch. Two walks and now the first hit of the day for the Padres.
From the stretch, maybe a little bit too quick. Hang a breaking ball, send one on its way.
To right field, down the line and towards foul ground. And that's going to fall into the seats. Well, the Padres hit 2 home runs in a single game. Tweet at Fox Sports SD using the hashtag #HIT2GET2 for your chance to win 4 new hand-cooked tires brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers. Two and two to Carlos Asuaje. Good size lead at first now for Perella. And a pop up foul ground third base way. Travis Shaw going as far as he can, but he'll play that way. So he's been fouled off a few different directions here for Carlos Asuaje in this at bat.
Not that I encourage it, but it's a good day to skip school, isn't it?
I think it should be a national holiday, opening day of the Major League Baseball season.
Be.
Yes.
What's one day of school going to do? What, you're not going to become a Rhodes Scholar? You're not going to get into Yale?
An analyst in the Major Leagues?
Yeah, right. Come on, make it a national holiday.
They're making the call at first. The pride of Joliet, Illinois, Mark Carlson,
yes.
First base umpire.
Very proud of Mark.
Biggest thing to come out of Joliet, Illinois.
Best thing ever.
Popped up, foul off third. Shaw coming full bore into foul ground, and this time makes the play basket style. Nice play by Travis Shaw. In a shift, he had to go a long way. Swung over towards second base. And he had just run over to the railing earlier. This time he goes into the slide, makes the catch.
Don, there's a lot going on there. The distance, as you mentioned. The head bobbing and weaving. Going into the slide. The sun, no sunglasses. Look how far he's got to go. He's over at the shallow shortstop position. Foul line, coach's box, track. That is one heck of a catch by Travis Shaw.
So 2 down. Perella still at first base, and it brings up Chase Headley. Headley with a walk in the second inning. And 2 walks allowed today by Chase Anderson.
Great command of the strike zone. Chase Headley. We saw it his first plate appearance in the second inning. Drew the walk. This guy knows the zone.
And jammed him there as he fouls it back. Anderson working with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. A decision to start Anderson today on opening day made easier with Jimmy Nelson rehabbing from shoulder surgery. 12-6 with a 3.49 ERA, and they're hoping to get him back near the All-Star break.
Yeah. It's a big void for the Brewers.
Popped up. Again, it is Travis Shaw, this time in fair ground. And he'll put it away. Padres leave a runner, trail 1-0 through 4.
I'm watching you. This is a perfect group for me. I watch you. Perfecto. Swing it right there, Manuel. Boy, they love me already, Jay.
On the ground, back to Richard to begin the inning. And out number 1 is Arcia, quickly retired. I thank Eric Hosmer for being mic'd up. Part of batting practice, first BP here. As a San Diego Padre today, making his debut.
You heard the words of encouragement. Did you hear it during the batting practice? Hey, that's the way to swing it, Manuel.
Yeah.
It might not seem like a lot, but that goes a long way. Because players, when they're with the ball club, young players, mostly, like Emmanuel Margot, when they hear a veteran guy who's got the resume of an Eric Hosmer, just a little bit of encouragement, that goes a long way.
We saw really during the course of all of spring training the fact that he would spend a lot of his time during BP worrying about other guys.
Yeah.
Talking to a lot of the younger guys, especially the Uriases and the Tatis Juniors.
And I can only speak from experience. Being a young pitcher, let's say you're throwing batting practice, or maybe it's a spring training game, and you get out of the inning and you come back to the dugout and that veteran pitcher comes up to you and pats you on the rear end and says, "Hey, way to go, kid." You know what that does for a guy?
Chase Anderson strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts now for Clayton Richard. 2 down here quickly in the 5th.
It may not seem like a lot, but it goes a long way.
On top of the order, Lorenzo Cain making his way here to the plate. And a professional courtesy. His pitcher just struck out, headed back to the dugout, and Cain taking his time coming from the on-deck circle. And now climbs in the box with 2 down. Cain in his Brewers debut has single to center and single to left. He has 2 of 5 Milwaukee hits on the day. Six in a row retired by Richard with 2 down here in the 5th. And a pop-up foul backing out of play. Time now for the Kia drive to success.
Talk about the success of ground balls. Marcus Stroman at 62.9. Clayton Richard 60%. I mean, even the ground balls. You can see that last swing there, off balance, tops the baseball, beating it into the ground.
34 years of age, making his first career opening day start. Last 6 years, San Diego's 6th different opening day starter. Talked about it earlier, of course. Clayton undergoing the shoulder and thoracic outlet surgeries. Working his way back to the minor leagues and the Cubs. We're coming back to San Diego again. To right, Myers will make the catch, put the cap high for round number 3. We are halfway through with the Brewers on top 1-0.
Every out-of-market regular season game with live, at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Last of the 5th, and Freddie Galvis to lead it off. Galvis flied out to center field in his first at-bat in a Padres uniform.
And the first pitch curveball from Anderson. The fish ain't biting.
He's only given up 1 hit through the first 4 innings. It's good not to see the Dodgers for a change here on opening day.
You think?
What's
it been, like 18 years in a row? Let's see. Drysdale, Sutton, Kershaw, Hershiser.
Maybe not in that order,
Yeah.
but yes. Seems that way. 2 years ago here, of course. Dodgers beating up on the Padres last year. A tough opening day at Dodger Stadium. Galvis down to first to begin things here in the 5th inning.
Although it is a tough schedule for the Padres.
Sure is.
Early on.
April is a bear.
Colorado, playoffs, Houston, world champs, Colorado again, San Francisco, you never know, and then the Dodgers.
How about going to Colorado twice, though? I mean, you only have 1 series left the rest of the year after that. Second week of April.
Why not go to the Rockies twice in April?
Austin Hedges, a strikeout victim in the 3rd, 0 for 1.
Flip the lineup this inning, multiple base runners, get to that top of the order. Put some pressure on these Brewers.
First time in the game the lead runner has been on for San Diego. Down 0-2. Look out. Hedges almost ducked his way into that pitch. Did not get a good read.
Anderson losing the touch, losing the feel. He wanted to pound that fastball away. Austin Hedges does the right thing, showing name and number to the pitcher, getting out of the way.
He's got a face full of baseball right there. Now a fly ball headed out to left field, and Christian Yelich calling and catching out number 1 of the 5th inning. So Galvis back to the bag at first with 1 down here in the inning, and Clayton Richard coming back up again, his 2nd plate appearance of the day. Struck out in the 3rd inning.
You know, the thing about Colorado, just to double back on what you're talking about, you never know. It could be like this, or it could be like snow flurries.
Right. All of April, for that matter.
Yeah.
We're there twice. And 1 hit so far today for the Padres. The single to right field for Jose Perella. Well pitch ball game. Both starters. Chase Anderson for the Brewers. Clayton Richard for the Padres. Showing bunt, dropping it down, foul. And Clayton now down 0-2.
You know what I like in this situation? 0-2. As we know, the rule book states you try to bunt with 2 strikes, foul, you're out. Why not show Butcher Boy? Show bunt, and then go back and hack. You might find a hole somewhere. If you foul it off, you get another crack at it.
He offered at it for strike 3.
Saturday, baseball is back on FS1 with a doubleheader. First, Jose Altuve and the world champion Astros take on the Texas Rangers, followed by Brewers Padres. It all starts at 1 on FS1, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Get your baseball fix right here on Fox.
Well, opening day here at Petco Park in San Diego. A lot of new stuff here at the yard also at Petco Park. I know you had checked it all out here the other day after spring training firsthand. What'd you think?
It was nice. Everything from the food. We talked about the interactive virtual reality where you put on the goggles and you can hit here at Petco Park. There's the new video board up in right field. We talked about the netting, which is now extended down the lines. Great section here, Don. The high school section. They've got every helmet, every hat represented for every high school in San Diego County.
That is so cool.
And a database to where you can find athletes or famous people that went to that high school.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Start to stop at first for Galvis as going around is Margot.
I can't lay off that curveball. Padres trying to find something going here against Anderson. Now the 3rd time around.
Left from Pena, but no throw, and Galvis back to the bag at first. Anderson up over 80 pitches in his outing. This will be pitch 83 of the day with 2 outs here in the home half of the 5th inning. Runner goes. Margot pops it up. Shallow right. Domingo Santana in and under to make the catch with the glasses on to end the 5th inning. 1-0 Brewers. defensively. Chase Headley, 5-4-3, twin killing. Nice play from third base. And then a little later on, an inning later, it's Freddie Galvis starts the 6-4-3 double play from his backside. So some nicely turned DPs in this game.
Here's what I gathered from that Galvis play. I honestly thought from my vantage point he at least knocked it down, kept it in front of him. In fact, he had it the whole time, and before he hit the ground, he was already doing the backhand feed to second base.
Yelich fights this one off and grounds it to short for out number 1 of the inning. Welcome in Bob Scanlon.
Don, great to talk with you guys, and I've been really impressed with Clayton Richard today in terms of his composure in his first opening day start, which is really no surprise, but also I think he's done a nice job these last 2 innings of incorporating his off-speed pitches a little more. He did retire Domingo Santana a couple of innings ago on his new changeup. He changed his grip from the split finger grip to a more traditional circle change, so he's been using that a little bit today as well as trying to elevate, but mostly good hard two-seam sinkers down in that zone, which is his bread and butter, as you know, guys.
And Scan really battled in that third inning to get out of that bases loaded situation. Just the 1 run here through 5 and what might be 2/3, as here comes Hosmer and Hedges, and it's Austin Hedges able to make the catch, but impressive to get through that inning and kind of battle early on in his outing.
No question about it, and I think when you are Clayton Richard, and he's talked about this, how much confidence it gives him to have that defense behind him now. He knows that he can pound the zone. He's going to get the plays made behind him. But that's the mental toughness of a veteran in Clayton Richard. He doesn't panic. He doesn't start trying to pitch outside himself. He stayed under control, and he keeps the damage to a minimum, only 1 run, and keeps himself in this ball game. So exactly what you expect out of the veteran.
2 down here in the 6th inning, and it brings up Travis Shaw.
Talk about the changeup grip. Bob was talking about like a split finger grip. A lot of guys will vary that, but that's your split finger grip on the changeup. And then he went to a traditional circle change.
Hopper to the wall here for Shaw. He's thinking 2. Throw from Myers going to be close, and at second base, just in safely is Shaw. Galvis applied the tag, and it was just on the tardy side. A 2-out double for Travis Shaw as Myers guns it from the right field corner.
Good job getting to the baseball. The short hop. Does he stay on the bag? He does stay on the bag as Freddie Galvis does the swipe tag. Gets him on the rear end, but keeps his foot on the bag. Will Myers spinning towards the glove hand side. Accurate throw to second base.
So 2 down. Shaw now in scoring position and brings up Domingo Santana. Swing to the first pitch. Will lift it to center, and Manuel Margot drifting back to handle out number 3. The Brewers get a runner to second. They don't score. Got a 1-0 lead though at the end of 5½. Time now for the San Diego fan of the game. This youngster enjoying opening day from Petco Park in San Diego.
Now this kid right here, he wrote a note to his teacher saying, "I'm sick today."
Yep, I'm a no-go.
Well, you know what? Busted. No, I'm just kidding. Future big leaguer. And that's the way it should be for youngsters and adults alike. A day out at the ball yard on opening day.
Well, Myers going to get the Padres started here in the last half of the 6th inning. Brewers on top 1-0. They get the game's lone run in the 3rd, and the breaking ball drops in there for strike 1. Myers 0 for 2 today. Struck out swinging in the 1st. Flat out to left in the 3rd. Same pitch, 0-2. Action for the first time in this game in the Brewers bullpen, as Anderson with pitch 86 of his outing, and it's chopped left side. Shaw to first. Nice pick at first, 1 down.
At Kia, get America's best value backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
So 5-3 on the putout of Myers. A tough throw from Shaw, but nicely picked by Braun, and he's looking good at first base today.
Very good. And he's just not seen his name in the lineup and go over first base. A lot of hard work in spring training before ball games. And you know what? A lot of people might not think it's a big deal, but have you ever put on a first baseman's glove?
Actually, I've not.
Well, he's probably used to it because an outfielder's glove is kind of large on the large side, not like an infielder's glove. So, but it's a different feel.
Hosmer taking it the other way down the left field line. Over is Yelich, and he will not have a play. As far as he could, right up against the fencing down the left field line where there's very little foul ground. A lot of guys making position changes this year. Some of the most notable, Myers, Braun, both here today. Kozar, D. Gordon to the outfit. We saw that with the Mariners during the spring, and Manny Machado going back to shortstop from third base.
You know, I think the one that surprises me the most, and you brought it up in spring training, D. Gordon, right? That was like the first time ever.
Yes.
He had played center field in that spring training game.
He looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Of course, we saw a lot of the Mariners during the spring sharing the Peoria Sports Complex. Little squibber foul for Hosmer. Padres debut today. A strikeout and a ground out. A different looking shift here now. They had the shortstop Arce on the right side for the first couple of pitches of this at bat. Now they move Travis Shaw, third baseman, to the right side of the infield with 2 strikes on Hosmer.
You know, I'm guessing with the 2 strikes, you put your infielder that has the better range, because as a hitter, you're going to try to maybe spray the field more and protect. That's why you'll probably see the shortstop on the shortstop side.
Fought off foul there, stays alive. Kind of a defensive swing for Hosmer. Chase Anderson has been great today, giving up just the 1 hit through 5 1/3 innings. There's Jeffress up in the pen. I mentioned Jeremy Jeffress, first action for either side. Good hack by Hosmer, but a foul to the screen.
The crowd here just waiting to erupt. They need the big man to come through. It'd be nice for him to run into one.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. It's been a good battle. And a strikeout on a pitch down and in. Hosmer got fooled and strikes out for the 2nd time today. 6 strikeouts on the day for Chase Anderson.
That's the curveball from Chase Anderson. Starts out about, let's check it out, on the hand, right about the letters, and then down by the shoe tops. Really tough to lay off, especially when you have 2 strikes. That's why I have always been a big fan of that 12-6 curveball. If you can split the heart of that plate and throw it at the right level, man, you'll get guys swinging over it out in front quite a bit.
Lone hit of the day today for Jose Perella. He's back in the 4th inning, and here he is now in the 6th inning. Anderson takes a little stroll in behind the mound in the midst of the meeting with himself. He fell behind 2-0 and just tried to refocus. Now a fly ball headed out towards left center field off the bat of Perella. Over from left comes Yelich, shy of the warning track to make the catch that ends the 6th inning. 1-0 Brewers.
Different feeling. It's that feeling. It's that those butterflies in your stomach.
You know, you try to take every game as the same, but that first one takes on special meaning.
The national anthem playing, packed house. It's a fresh start. Everyone's looking positively at the next 162.
Opening day 2018 here at San Diego's Petco Park, and into the 7th inning goes Clayton Richard. 1-0 Brewers lead, and Pena leading it off here. It'll even at 1-1 to Manny Pena. 0 for 2 today. Next into a 6-4 3-DP in the second, fouled out in the 4th. Now gets jammed and fouls it back and out of play.
We've got ourselves a pitcher's duel, Don Orsillo.
Sure do. Combination of Clayton Richard and
some good defense.
Chase Anderson. Action for the Padres for the first time in their pen today behind Richard as he starts his 7th inning.
They really humped that one up. Looked like Clayton overthrowing there with 2 strikes to even the count at 2-2.
Pitch count not bad. 77 here in the 7th.
Yep.
There's Kirby Yates, the first action for the Padres in their pen. And a grounder back to Richard, who fields his position very well. Tosses to first for out number 1.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Beautiful day, opening day from Petco Park in San Diego. One down here in the 7th. And Jonathan VR, batting with 1 out, has struck out twice today against Clayton Richard. Swinging in the 3rd and swinging in the 4th. Speaking of swinging, there's strike 1. On the ground, softly towards Galvis. The good hop and the good throw, 2 down. I'd like to thank fans for sending in their photos of where they're watching today on opening day. On a beautiful day here at the ballpark at Petco Park, and nothing better than opening day here.
There's a reason why they call it America's finest city.
Flyover, of course, part of the pregame ceremony as always. Orlando Arcia gets his third plate appearance of the day, has grounded back to the mound twice, 0 for 2. Both times ably handled by Clayton Richard. Now a fly ball to shallow right has Myers running on a slant towards the line and takes care of out number 3 and takes care of the top of the 7th inning. Clayton Richard, spectacular day through 7 innings. It is 7th inning stretch here at Petco Park, and on this special opening day we'll keep it right here for God Bless America from America's finest city, San Diego.
It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Before we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" here on opening day, please stand and welcome Petty Officer First Class Yerrick Sherrod Connor. Please sing along as he presents "God Bless America."
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, why wherefore God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Petty Officer
Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by your Southern California Cadillac dealers. By Sequan Casino, sign up for the Padres Club Card tomorrow. And by Jack in the Box. This season, Padres home runs score free Jumbo Jacks, only at Jack in the Box. And we play along here to the last of the 7th inning. The pitcher for the Brewers, that's good news for the Padres after Chase Anderson was so good through the first 6 innings. As Josh Hader into the game. 35 games last year, 2-3 mark for the left-hander.
Got a lot of knees, elbows coming right at you from the left-hander Hader. Might be one of those at-bats where you hate batting against this left-hander. Low 3/4 arm delivery. Kind of goes from the center of the pitcher's plate, throws across his body. And I would have to say, as a left-hander, like Carlos Asuaje, you really have to keep your front shoulder tucked in there. Think center of the diamond and going the opposite way against Hader.
It's a double switch here for the Brew Crew as Eric Sogard comes into the game at second base. There's Sogard. So the pitcher spot is now 7th in the order. As Asuaje will take a pitch away and leaving the count at 2-2. 6 innings, 1 hit from Chase Anderson. Gave up no runs, walked 3, struck out 6. Threw 97 pitches through the first 6 innings, but he was very good, and he scored this game's only run.
And Hader can bring it. 96, 97, maybe sometimes 98, but can he control it? This is where the Padre hitters have to be patient, draw a walk here, maybe a little bloop, a blast, you never know.
There's ball 4. And for the second time in the game, the Padres have the lead runner on. Second straight inning as Asuaje down to first. And fans sending in some photos from the stay here at Petco Park in San Diego and enjoying today's game.
Hey, there's Crazy Charisma. Yeah, I met her at the San Diego State University viewing of Mr. Padre.
Nice.
Remember MLB Network?
Yes.
It was a great documentary on the life career of Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn, and she was there. Good turnout.
Chase Headley batting here with a runner at first, nobody out. Has walked and popped out to third base.
You know, after facing Anderson, who was, what, 90-91 on the fastball, you got to turn up the dial a little bit. And also Chase Headley now going from the other side of the plate.
Elevated at 96 and got Headley to chase. Headley coming over, of course, part of a deal that involved Brian Mitchell, the pitcher, and Jabari Blash going the other way. Strike 3 call. Headley knew it. Takes with him the first strikeout for Hader. 1 down.
That's heat coming at you at 95, low 3/4, inner half for Chase Headley. Kind of looks maybe, just maybe he was guessing something else. He got the fastball, could not pull the trigger. Now the left-hander for the Brewers, different arm angle, and that's something that the Padres are going to try to bank on this season with the different looks they have coming out of the bullpen. Adam Simber, Makita, Kyle McGrath, right over the top, not a hard thrower, giving hitters different angles, getting out of that comfort zone of that arm slot that we see so much of.
Asuaje still at first with 1 away. Ryan Braun holding him on at first base. The Brewers team that finished just 1 game out of the second National League wild card spot a year ago. Additions of Yelich and Kane certainly bettering things here. And Braun moving to first base. Galvis showing bunt, dropping it down the third baseline. Shaw was backed up. Nothing he can do about this but let it roll, and it stays fair. Bunt base hit for Freddie Galvis. First and second with 1 away.
Not a bad idea by the Padres shortstop. And when you look at this pitch, that pitch is up and in off the plate, down by the right hand of Freddie Galvis. Placed perfectly, especially with Travis Shaw playing back like he was. Multiple base runners. And we got action.
It's the second hit of the day for the Padres. It's a bunt base hit for Freddie Galvis. Now Austin Hedges coming up. Padres catcher 0 for 2 today. Struck out swinging in the third. Flat out to left in the fifth. Big hack by Hedges for strike one. Pitcher spot is due next in Clayton Richard, but right now Hunter Renfroe has come out on deck. Popped up, fouled out of play, 0-2. Here's Renfroe, not in the starting lineup today, but coming off the bench. Let's see him pinch hit here in the seventh. Elevated, and Hedges did not chase the high heat at 95. 18 home runs a year ago for the Padres backstop. Popped up foul again. That'll get out of play.
Battling with 2 strikes. Try to punch it the other way, hit something hard on the ground, find a hole or a gapper. I'll tell you what, I'd like to see a gapper and see Freddie run.
First time in the game the Padres have had 2 men on. Swahe at second base, Galvis at first base, trailing 1-0. Foul and out of play again. And Hedges battling away. And now Pena will head out to make a mound visit. This is our first mound visit for either side. And today, for the first time at the stadium here, you can see the mound visits remaining, which are on the scoreboard. Brewers will now have 5 remaining. Padres have all 6 of theirs right now.
So they'll count down.
They go backwards.
6 to 1 or 0.
And the umpire there, Jerry Davis, indicating that was a mound visit in the first of the day. Up top for ball 2.
Good layoff right there from Austin.
Hedges strikes out on the breaking ball, all those fastballs, and then Hader comes back with the breaking ball and strikes out Hedges, out number 2 of the 7th inning.
Chase Anderson was doing it all day, changing the eye angle, going up. That one's middle in, belt buckle high. Getting the foot down, getting the hand started, but out in front just a little bit on that pitch. Kind of drifting a little bit.
So here is Hunter Renfroe to pinch hit with 2 on and 2 down. Power versus power right here. Hader and Renfroe. And that is strike 1.
He hit .316 versus left-handed pitching last year. Hunter Renfroe did. And here's a case to where, you know what? He squares something up and out over the plate. Right field would do just as well. Base hit. Extra base hit. Try to avoid that strikeout. Put the ball in play.
Swing and a miss, has him down 0-2.
There's the slider, the equalizer, if you will. After 96, puts a little wrinkle in it. And you can see Hunter way out in front of it.
Renfroe takes strike 3, and Hader gets out of the inning unscathed. Padres strand a pair, trail 1-0.
Giancarlo Stanton in Toronto, first at bat as a Yankee.
MVP of the National League last year. I think this is the move that puts the Yankees on top. Remember, they lost in that championship game against the Astros last year. Now coupled with Aaron Judge and also Aaron Sanchez, this is a team offensively that's going to do some damage. And new third base coach Phil Nevin, who a lot of people know here, going to be a lot of high fives coming around third base.
That is a gross lineup by anybody's calculations. Luis Severino, by the way, spinning a shutout here. The Yankees lead 4-0. They're in the bottom of the 6th in Toronto. It's a 1-0 game here on opening day. Glad you're able to enjoy it for a little bit with us. The Brewers lead this one right now. Ideally, we start chipping away at this bullpen because Chase Anderson was tough.
Chase Anderson had the high fastball going today, obviously had some good stuff. The Padres have to sneak this one out because opening day, this crowd, they'd like to get behind this offense.
Mark and I working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you by Cox Communications. You're going to hear from Andy Green, some of the players as well. We recap a beautiful opening day here at Petco. Don and Mark?
All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. It's Eric Sogard who leads it off here for the Brew Crew in the 8th inning. And they do it against a reliever, Kirby Yates.
Kirby Yates had one fine year last year trying to hold that one-run deficit. 62 games last year combined between the Angels and the Padres. An ERA under 4. Fastball, breaking ball, and a split-finger fastball from Kirby Yates.
Named off waivers from the Angels last year and really was an important part of the Padres bullpen a year ago.
20 holds last year for the right-hander out of the bullpen. He inherited over the course of the season with San Diego 16 runners, only allowed 1 to score.
Sogard takes strike 2. As part of a double switch an inning ago that saw Sogard come in at second base for Jonathan Villar. So Sogard batting out of the 9 spot. Pitcher spot is now 7th for the Brewers. Close pitch, called the ball, 2-2. Clayton Richard today, 7 strong innings. On opening day, 6 hits, allowed 1 run, walked 1, struck out 4 through 83 pitches. Swing and a miss for Sogard. He strikes out. Good start for Kirby Yates out of the pen. 1 down. Well, the pen is definitely a strength for this team. I think you would agree, Mark Grant.
Different looks. Take a look at Brad Hand. We know that he's got the herky-jerky delivery, and the numbers proved last year that he can strike out some people. Kazuhisa Makita, the sidewinder. No, I shouldn't even say sidewinder. I say under from down under. Right?
Submarine.
Yeah, submarine. Kirby Yates. He just throws that split finger we just saw, and Craig Stammen, who really did wonders last year out of the bullpen after kind of a rough start. So some different angles, some different looks. And I think that's what Andy Green and Darren Balsley have up their sleeve a little bit, to give these hitters different looks, not just one traditional look.
Lorenzo Cain, who's had a nice debut for the Brewers, 2 for 3, and singles, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd, before lining out to right in the 5th. Brewers have further action in their pen, both teams into the pen. Drops in there for strike 2. Matt Albers up in the pen right now for Milwaukee. And for Cain to go the other way with Margot in right center. And that's where it's headed. That's a right center field on a line. So Margot cuts it off, wide turn at first. A 3-hit day in his debut for Lorenzo Cain.
He's using the field, the whole field that is, very, very nicely here on opening. There's a split finger. Now on contact, look, it's right above the knees, outer half, and Cain just takes it that way. You try to pull that ball, the barrel kind of will roll a little bit on top of that baseball. You'll get a grounder. You see it in the left center field. He pulled one into left field for a knock, and now this one going the opposite way.
So 1 out, 1 on, and here is Christian Yelich. Last year with the Marlins, 18 homers, 81 runs driven in, and a 282 average. Most of last year's Marlins team, of course, now playing elsewhere. He's one of those guys.
That was a total strip down, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Go to first and back to the bag is Kane. First inning of relief for Kirby Yates, working the 8th inning here. And the Padres trailing by a run. Runner goes, kind of a delayed steal. Throw is high, and Kane steals second base. He did not break right away. And Hedges' throw kind of elevated there and sent Galvis up into the air.
Austin had to come out of the crouch. There's the jump. Now I'm guessing as a catcher, you have to come out of your crouch and go up a little bit. This will give us a great angle. Well, it wasn't that bad. It was right at the mask, but working underneath it just a little bit. And Freddie Galvis, Carlos Asuaje backing up, preventing that ball from going into center field.
So runner in scoring position here, key time of the game. And there's ball 3 to Yelich.
Infielders got to get dirty here. Knock it down. One out, grounder to your right or left. At least knock it down. Hey, if you make the play, that's gravy over at first base.
Ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk. Now it's time now for the Bill Howe plays of the game. And Clayton Richard on the mound today for the Padres' first opening day start. And Richard was very good in 7 innings, giving up just the 1 run.
He did what was expected of the veteran left-hander. A little help from his friends defensively. But as you mentioned, Don, his bread and butter is going down to the zone, having guys chase. If they make contact because of the action of the ball and where it's pitched, it's hit on the ground. He will go up the ladder for a strikeout as well. A job well done by left-hander Clayton Richard.
Darren Balsley, the pitching coach, out there to talk to Kirby Yates. And the runners at first and second and 1 away. And today's attendance, a sellout at Petco Park in San Diego, 44,649. Again, 44,649 for opening day in America's finest city. Two on, 1 out, and Ryan Braun. The Brewers first baseman 0 for 2 with a walk and a grounder foul. Yates continues to work here. There is action again for the Padres in their pen. Kane at second, Yelich at first with 1 down.
Looking back to that at-bat for Christian Yelich and the walk, it might have been kind of like a pitch around. Righty on righty. Now, sure, Braun can hurt you. There's no doubt about that. But the pitches that were thrown to Yelich were kind of off the plate, almost as if Kirby Yates was going to try to entice Yelich to kind of swing at some of his pitches out of the zone.
We saw Kyle McGrath out there, also Craig Stammen warming in the pen. A bluff off the backside by Yates, no throw. Lorenzo Cain at second, Christian Yelich at first. 1 down here in the Brewers' 8th inning. Swing and a miss by Braun. Big cut there, and it's 1 and 2.
Went back with the off speed. That's a great look of the split fingered fastball. Change up, if you want to call it that. Any way you look at it, that was swing and a miss.
just off the outside edge. Hedges trying to frame that, pick up that outside corner. Jerry Davis wasn't biting. Looked pretty close.
It looked really close.
Oh, yeah, that came back.
Yeah. And Austin did a great job of framing that pitch.
And Kirby wants to see the signs again as he backed off. Peering into Austin Hedges. Key point in the game here with 2 on, 1 out in the 8th and a 1-run game. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Braun. That's a big out. Second strikeout for Yates, 2 down. Nice job by Kirby Yates.
Why is that such a big pitch? Because he bounced back. There are pitchers out there that say, oh, I didn't get the call. Well, let's go back to the first pitch. 93 heat. Splitter in the dirt. Splitter again. Here's the one where Austin framed it, didn't get the call. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll just go up the ladder a little bit. Power against power. Swing and a miss.
Pitching change from Petco Park in San Diego. 1-0 Brewers.
Sitting here listening to you talk the last couple innings about the variation of the pitching angle that the Padres bullpen has. I'm wondering who in Major League Baseball today would be able to deal with that change in pitching angle and still be able to hit the ball.
We thank our jellymen for the question, and Mark Grant, your thoughts on that, because that is something we have been talking about here. 2 on, 2 down.
I think the good hitters, like a Jose Altuve, right, guy who hits the ball extremely off any type of pitcher through repetition and seeing pitchers, guys like that who are perennial top 5, top 10 hitters all year long. There are low ball hitters, there are high ball hitters, and I think it's only a matter of time where the good hitters will get on to what the other pitchers have to offer, whether they pitch from down under or straight over the top like a Kyle McGrath, before they kind of figure it out. Now the hitters that aren't so, the perennial guys who are going to be in the top, even the top 20, maybe below that, they're going to have difficulty with those looks from down under, and guys with off-speed stuff with the unorthodox delivery like a Kyle McGrath.
Canes at second, Yelich at first, 2 down here in the 8th. And Travis Shaw waiting on a 1-1 pitch from Kyle McGrath. And time called very late, very late. Remind fans, you can send us your video question. Use the hashtag BuzzTheBoothSD, and we will answer it during an upcoming broadcast. That's hashtag BuzzTheBoothSD.
Oh, the late call, the pitcher, McGrath, he's concentrating on the runner. Now he turns. He's concentrating on going. Just follow through with it. Throw it back to the screen.
Good pitch, and Shaw kind of froze in there.
Only 87, that is. 87 miles an hour on the fastball from McGrath.
Kane at second, Yelich at first. 2 down in the 8th inning in a 1-run game. And McGrath takes a little extra time here off the backside.
And you know what, Andy Green, he's going to counter with that question from our Jellyman. You know, if there's a low ball hitter, he's going to go to a guy who can elevate a fastball like a Simmer or a Makita up in the zone from down under, because he's going to have trouble getting on top of that pitch.
Shaw pops it up, kind of reaching for that pitch, and fouls it off.
And then to counter that, the guys who can really crush and hit the high fastball or high pitch as well, maybe counter with somebody like a Kirby Yates who can try to work down in the zone with that split finger fastball or that sinker.
Well, Andy Green's got a lot of options at his disposal, part of what has made a very strong bullpen this year for the Padres. That's strike 3. Shaw takes a look. Kyle McGrath coming in to get a big strikeout of Travis Shaw. Shaw down by way of the K. It is 1-0 Milwaukee as we head to the last of the inning. San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. Great pregame ceremony at Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman on the field prior to the ball game as the Brewers have a 1-0 lead over the Padres. To the last of the 8th we go on this opening day 2018, and Matt Albers checks in here for the Brew Crew.
Trying to hold that 1-0 lead. Hey, it's Matt Albers, and last year with Washington 63 games. He had a nice year, 7-2 record, a 1.6 ERA. And when you look at the splits, that's exactly what you need out of the bullpen, especially in a situation like this. Both lefties and righties alike hitting below 175.
Manuel Margot to lead it off. This was on opening day last year, the home opener, that Margot homered not once but twice. Today 0 for 2, but he did walk back in the 3rd inning. And Albers becomes a 3rd arm used by Craig Counsell today for the Brewers.
A lot of sinkers and sliders from Matt Albers, trying to make short work of any hitter coming up to the plate. Trying to dice and slice each part of the plate. Here comes a slider, fastball. Fastball away.
And a swing and a miss for Margot. That one was running away in 93. Margot now, followed by Myers and Hosmer here in the 8th. Grounded up the middle and into center field, and a good start to the last of the 8th for San Diego.
Fighting and grinding. You get a sinker ball pitch or a slider out there, you got to pick one pitch out and try to do some damage with it. That one was outer half, very hittable, not a lot of movement, and up a little bit. So what does Manuel do? I'll play a little pepper with the center fielder. I love the ground ball with the center fielder, and he is aboard.
So Margot on to begin things here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Will Myers. 0 for 3 today on opening day. Struck out, flied out, last time up, grounded out. To the screen for strike 1.
I think Will is walking around the batter's box wanting that one back. That was a pitch he could have done some serious damage with.
Not used to getting pitches up from Albert, you mentioned. Mainly a sinker ball pitcher. Soft toss to first as Margot diving back safely.
Wanting to get Margot into scoring position might be a concern for Albert, so paying some attention over there. He's got some speed, might be too quick to the plate, therefore elevate something for Will Myers.
Foul back, 0-2.
The hanging slider. A little bit too quick. Working underneath it. Will Myers has had a couple pitches to do some damage.
Eric Hosmer waiting on deck. Padres trailing 1-0, batting here in the last of the 8th inning. Good size lead for Manuel Margot. Albers noticed and goes over to first base. Outfield about straight away here on Myers. Power to all fields. Ball 1.
Albers had a nice spring, 9 games, a .96 ERA over 9 1/3 innings pitched. I'd say that's a good spring.
Council's team came within a win last year of the second wild card spot. They're better this year. Looking to have a big year. That's ball 2, 2-2. Got ahead, but now it's even. Makes a stroll, kind of counterclockwise around the mound, then to the top of the hill. Myers with a broken bat, ground ball to Arcia. It's short, throw to second just in time. That was close. Arcia had a few things to deal with. The bat was headed in his direction after it was fractured by Myers, but he got the baseball and got it to second just ahead of the oncoming Manuel Margot.
That's getting in the kitchen. That's well off the plate. Now the race is on to second base. In a close play like this, always look at the reaction of the runner. Yeah, he's out. Force play at second base. Clearly the right call. Brewers get the lead runner.
So here we go. A golden opportunity for the newest Padre. Eric Hosmer on opening day 2018 in his debut. standing in with a tying run at first base. His career here very good at Petco Park, a .441 average. They shift on him on the right side of the Brewers infield. Ball one. Nicely blocked there by Pena. Kept it in front of him.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting sequence of pitches here because a pitch like that, first pitch off-speed changeup, you got to really trust your catcher. If it's in the dirt like that last pitch was, Pena's got to be on his game. Now, as a pitcher, you don't want to bounce it. You kind of hang on to it and hang it over the zone.
Fouled straight back. Good rip by Hosmer, but a foul ball, 1-1. And a fastball that was elevated. It was up top.
On contact, that's right at the Padres, and just Eric doesn't have enough top hand right there on that particular pitch to get up on top of it and square it up.
Ooh, the toughest part of the Padres order here with Margot, Myers, and Hosmer batting in the inning, but they go with Albers in the 8th. You get Knebel, of course, the closer, and he is getting ready in the pen right now. That's ball 2, 2-1. There's Knebel in the pen. Padres pen is busy as well. Craig Stammen up earlier. Closer Brad Hand up now as well. 2-1 to Hosmer will wait as they check on Myers at first base. Be interesting to see how much running Margot and Myers will do ahead of Hosmer, with Hosmer at the plate here.
I think there's got to be some discussion between those players and Eric Hosmer. Eric might say, hey, if you feel you get a jump, go. Some guys are cool with that.
Hosmer with a big cut, 2-2.
There are some hitters out there that have the recognition to when a hitter goes and they see where the pitch is. They can manipulate that bat to hit it where it's pitched. There are some hitters out there that don't like the runner to go because it comes as a distraction. Now, being left-handed, I don't think it should be much of a distraction for Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer on the ground up the middle. It's Shaw, the third baseman, who shuffles to second for one, on to first for two. And that double play wraps up the 8th inning. To the 9th we go. 1-0 Brewers.
Milwaukee. Saturday, baseball is back on FS1 with a doubleheader. First, Jose Altuve and the world champion Astros take on the Texas Rangers, followed by Brewers, Padres. It all starts at 1 on FS1 or stream it live on Fox Sports Go.
1-0 Brewers on top of the Padres. To the 9th inning we go, and Craig Stammen in for the first time this season.
Last season for Craig, appeared in a career-high 60 games for the Padres. Back in 2012 at 59 with the Nationals. 80-plus innings of work for the veteran right-hander, and he was a breath of fresh air last year. Kind of started off a little shaky, but finished on a high note.
Domingo Santana leading it off for Milwaukee.
After the All-Star break last year for Craig, his ERA only 1.10 in 32 2/3 innings pitched. I'm saying that's Dalen.
On the ground to third and picked on the half hop nicely by Headley. His throw is good, and that's out number 1 of the 9th inning. Let's see the short-handed Chase Headley down there at third base. Stammen's got out number 1, and here comes Manny Pena. 0 for 3 day today for the Brewers catcher.
By the way, that ERA that Craig sported after the All-Star break last year was the best for relievers in the National League and second in Major League Baseball.
It's pretty impressive.
That's twirling.
As you mentioned, last year kind of started the year as the long man out of the pen, and as the year went on, the confidence grew for him and for Andy Green, using him in some very high leverage situations, and became one of the more reliable relievers out of the pen. Ball and a strike to Pena. Infield set up straight away behind Stammen on Pena. And a grounder back onto the glove of Stammen, but Aswahi is there. Throw is low, but Hosmer picks it out of the dirt nicely at first. 2 down. Nice stab there at first base by Eric Hosmer.
Oh, there's gold in them Dar Hills over at first base. Gold in the glove of Eric Hosmer. Aswahi off the mound to his right. The flip throw. Pick it, Wilson. Even though he wears a Rawlings Gold Glove winner, picking up his pitcher Craig Stammen.
Eric Thames about to pinch hit here. 31 home runs last year. Batting in the pitcher's spot and swinging for strike 1. 138 games last year for the Brewers, who 247, but the 31 round trippers. Close pitch, called a ball. Stammen able to get Santana and Pena for the first 2 outs of the 9th, and now dealing with Thames. Dribbler foul, makes it 1-2. Richard started the game, 7 innings, the 1 run. Yates and McGrath combining to work the 8th inning, and now Stammen on for the 9th. And a tight one today from Petco Park on opening day. That is ball 2, close pitch.
That looked like a pretty good pitch. Just a bit low. Good call by Jerry Davis. That's a tough pitch to lay off, especially with 2 strikes.
On the ground into the shift on the right side. It's a Suaje races in and fires to first for the out. 3 ground ball outs induced by Stammen. Padres trail 1-0 to the bottom of the 9th we go. Bottom of the 9th inning. Let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, I believe the first one was early support for Richard. It's been slim pickings this afternoon. Great job by the veteran left-hander. 7 quality innings, 6 hits, only 1 earned run. He struck out 4. No runs of support, and no love for the new guys. Via the trade, Christian Yelich from Miami, the free agent, Lorenzo Cain, 4 for 7 with an RBI, and that's the only run, driving in the pitcher Chase Anderson that's crossed home plate this afternoon.
Corey Knebel, the All-Star last year, closer in here for the Brew Crew in the 9th. 39 saves, 39 out of 45 a year ago.
And it's all about the punch out. 126 strikeouts in 76 frames last season for Knebel.
Jose Perella leads it off. Last year broke a single season major league record for consecutive relief appearances with a strikeout. That was 45 games from April 3rd to July the 15th. Foul back, 1-1. 97 on the fastball from Knebel.
Yeah, he's got the fastball upper 90s. He's got that yacker that we just saw. The first pitch thrown to Jose Perella to go along with it.
Padres have struck out 9 times today. In the air, foul off of first as Braun will watch it go back into the seats.
Pretty much 4-seam curveball, Donnie. Just when you're looking at the high heat, 97, 98, he drops that hammer on you. And it's such a hard curveball that out of the hand, you know, it looks like it's coming in hot, but then bang, off the table. It's really tough to not lay off that pitch. High fastball right here.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Padres have been held to 3 hits today. Chase Anderson, the starter for the Brewers, 6 shutout innings. Josh Hader, an inning. Matt Albers, an inning. And Corey Knebel, closer on for Milwaukee. And that is strike 3 to Perella for out number 1 of the 9th.
Freeze fastball. I think that Jose Perella may have number 2 in his mind. You know what? Any hitter, 98 on the black like that, good luck.
One down in the ninth, and it brings up Carlos Asuaje. He is grounded out, fouled out, and walked. Line to center field. Base hit for Asuaje. Tying run is at first base.
Carlos Asuaje knows the stuff from Knebel. He misses with location and he makes him pay. He wants that one on the outer half of the plate. If it misses, fine. That one leaks towards the good side for Asuaje. Short, quick stroke to the ball and a safety to left center. Tying run aboard.
1 out, 1 on, and here is Chase Headley. Headley walked in the second, popped out to third in the fourth, struck out looking in the seventh.
Knebel's got to be careful with that breaking ball to Chase Headley. You leave one over the heart of the plate, speed up his bat, could send it on its way.
In the air to right field for Headley. This will stay in the yard for Domingo Santana, who handles out number 2.
Now Chase got his fastball.
They have a pinch runner at first base. And Caesar will run for Asuaje as we get a look at that pitch right in on the hands.
Yep, got down by the label, and Chase just wasn't quick enough to get the good part of the bat on the ball.
Matt Caesar pinch running at first, 2 down, and Freddie Galvis. For the first, and Caesar diving back head first. Got a good sized lead over there and had to dive back.
I'll tell you what, Freddie Galvis, if he finds a gap right here, you're going to hear some crowd roaring. You're going to feel some excitement here at Petco Park. Matt Caesar, known for his speed. He's got good speed out there at first base.
There he goes at first as the pitch is outside. Throw down to second base will get away. No further advance for Caesar, but a stolen base puts him into scoring position with 2 down in the 9th inning.
He could smell that as soon as he went out there and took the place of Carlos Asuaje. Boy, not even close. Even a good throw. And it wasn't even really the best jump either. Big leg kick, though, from Knebel. He's concentrating to make a good quality pitch.
Tying run in scoring position at second with 2 down in the 9th. A 1-0 coming to Freddie Galvis. Inside, 2-0. Aboard twice today, a walk and a bunt single. On the ground, into right field, base hit for Galvis. Here comes Caesar. No throw from right, and the Padres have tied the game 1-1. Welcome to San Diego, Freddie Galvis, who has tied this game.
See what speed does? It gets you a stolen base, and it scores on a single to right. And the Fighting Friars fighting till the last out. That's great concentration from Freddie Galvis, getting a pitch, finding the hole, and look at the excitement from the erstwhile Fighting Phil. Now a Fighting Friar.
Hedges will take ball 1. 0 for 3 today for the Padres catcher. Time called very late. So the Padres have gotten to the Brewers closer. Blown save here on opening day. After 8 shutout innings for Milwaukee's arms. Anderson for 6, Hader and Albers for an inning each. Back is Galvis, little stutter step back to the bag at first. Spangenberg has come out on deck. Another throw over quickly.
14 stolen bases for Freddie Galvis last year as a Philadelphia Philly.
Again over and again close.
He's got a big lead over there. Almost kind of stutter step back to the bag.
That is a big lead. Back out there again. There he goes. Hedges takes the throw down to second base. Going to be close and in time. They throw out Freddie Galvis at second base, caught stealing, but Galvis drives in the tying run in the bottom of the 9th inning. One of the newest Padres getting it done. Tied up 1-1. Bonus baseball from Petco Park. For him, Padres have tied it up 1-1. To the 10th inning we go, and Brad Hand into the game, the Padres closer, pitching in a tie game at home.
Hey, now you're an all-star. There he is, the left-hander Brad Hand. 72 wonderful games last year. In ERA, that's all-star worthy. 104 strikeouts in almost 80 innings of work against only 20 walks for Brad Hand.
Orlando Arcia leading it off here for the Brewers. Will chop one to short. Galvis. Plenty of time to get Arcia one down here in the 10th.
I love those one-pitch outs, especially when a reliever comes into a game.
Well, Hand taking over for Stammen, who had a 1-2-3 9th inning. 3 ground ball outs and gave the Padres the chance to come back to tie it up. They did. And here we are in the 10th with one away. Corey Spangenberg, part of the double switch, taking over at second base.
Who doesn't love free baseball, especially on opening day? Bonus baseball from Petco Park coming your way.
Jesus Aguilar is going to pinch hit here. With 1 out, 265 average a year ago, and 133 games, had 16 home runs. And takes a look at strike one. And Aguilar gets hit with a pitch. So the pinch hitter down to first base with 1 out.
Oh, got him on the front ankle on the bounce. The breaky ball from Brad Hand. Just held on to it a little bit too long.
And the pinch hitter for him at first base. Or pinch runner, I should say. Hernan Perez will pinch run.
Perez, an infielder, he'll probably go in to play second base. Eric Sogard was in that spot playing second base.
Hosmer holding him on at first base as Lorenzo Cain has had a big day in his Brewers debut, 3-hit day. And the recipient of strike one. Hits today, all singles, 2 to center, 1 to left. Finished up his last year in Kansas City, hitting at .300 a year ago. Rounded foul, and Cain finds himself in the hole, 0-2. Shadows have encompassed the mound, the light tower. Has the mound in the shadows while home plate in the bright sunshine. Another grounder foul.
I would have to say that would be tough. You've got a batter's eye right here that's sunlit, right? You've got the pitcher in the shadow. So that spheroid that's coming out of the hand of Brad Hand is changing shades.
Changes color on the way in. Soft toss over, and easily back to the bag is Perez. Now, since 2016, 215 strikeouts for Brad Hand.
That's pretty good company.
Dylan Betances and Andrew Miller with more.
High fastball right here.
Cain checked his swing. Didn't go, says Joliet's Mark Carlson.
Oh, I might have to, I kind of beg to differ from, oh my goodness, if he hits it, it's a double. First one of the year, folks. Blown call. Kidding. Yeah, I thought he went on that. Mark Carlson's a good umpire. Not on that call, though. Honestly, from the side angle.
I thought he went.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's rare, but I am agreeing with you this time.
I thought you would.
Makes contact, it's a double.
Absolutely.
And has been very concerned with the pinch runner. Perez at first base. Represents the go-ahead run here in the 10th inning. in the air to right center field. Over is Myers, battling the sun. Will make the catch for out number 2. Kane retired. 2 down in the 10th. He'll take us to Christian Yelich. Padres win extra innings in a season opener. You got to go back to April the 1st, 1996 at Chicago. Ended up being a 5-4 loss in 10 innings. So it's been a while. Perez at first base. Yelich in on the left side. And there's ball 1. Yelich in his Brewers debut, singled back in the 3rd, walk in the 8th, a 1-for-3 day. Padres were NL champs that year. NL West champs, I should say. NL champs in '98. This one in the air, down towards the left field corner, and Pirela over, but no play. Must be celebrating the '98 team all season long this year. 20-year anniversary.
Gosh, 20 years already. Of course, we'll be able to pick the brain of Mark Sweeney, who led that team to the National League flag.
In the air, foul off to the left, out of play. Be sure and join us tomorrow for game 2 of the season and of this series against the Brewers. Old friend Jhoulys Chacin to be matched up against Joey Lucchesi, making his major league debut. The announcement coming today that he is going to do that in game 2 of this series, which started at 6:30 with Padres Live.
I love debuts.
Runner goes, and they had it sniffed out. Throw down to second and out. At second base is Perez, the pinch runner. Gone to the Brewers in the top of the 10th inning. Padres coming up, tied at 1. Suaje this time going to left center field. As Suaje able to get on to begin the inning, and then Matt Caesar would run for Carlos Suaje and steal second base. Then the big hit for Freddie Galvis ties this game 1-1 through the right side, scoring Caesar from second, and we are tied up, ready for the last of the 10th inning. Good Padres debut for Freddie Galvis. Now Austin Hedges will lead it off. He was at the plate last inning. He'll be facing the new pitcher, Jeremy Jeffress, into the game now for Milwaukee.
In spring training for the right-hander Jeffress, 8 games, did not allow an earned run. 61 games last year between Texas and Milwaukee. Kind of high splits right there. Righty's hitting .288, giving up 7 round trippers.
Blown save for Corey Knebel today. Hedges takes ball 1. Other changes here. Hernan Perez taking over at second base, stays in the game after he pinch ran. They shift on Hedges here on the left side of the infield to the Brewers. Grounder foul, evens the count at 1-1.
I remember as a kid watching Cubs baseball, Jack Brickhouse, and I remember in a game at home, his saying was, "Okay, boys, any old kind of a run will win it. Doesn't matter, just get a run across." The Padres are facing right here in their bottom half of the 10th frame. Doesn't have to be pretty. It could be the ugliest of runs.
We'll take it either way. Hedges 0 for 3 today, a couple of strikeouts. That'll drop in there for strike 2. Ball 3, full count.
A walk will work just as nicely as a base knock.
Spangenberg waiting on deck. Took over last inning defensively at second base. And then it is back up top for Manuel Margot. Here in the 10th, tied 1-1. And Hedges with a swing and a miss. And he strikes out for the 3rd time today, out number 1 here at the 10th.
Looks like Jefferson with that sinker that he'll throw almost 45% of the time. He'll mix in a 4-seamer as well and a curveball. But here's the 2-seamer down and in at 90.
So now Corey Spangenberg standing in with 1 out in the 10th.
That may even been a changeup with that type of movement that it had.
Great spring training for Spangenberg. Coming off the bench today. Played in 129 games last year. 13 homers, 46 runs driven in. Take a look at strike 2. 2 quick strikes poured in there by Jeffress. We've been up in the 7th, now into the game here in the 10th. The shadows are almost to home plate. Cast here from the light tower off to the left. Spangenberg grounds one with a bit of a shift on. It's Arcia, the shortstop, right behind second. Throws out Spangenberg, 2 down in the 10th inning.
Did you see Spangenberg motoring down the line? I mean, he ran through the bag.
That's what you like to see.
Absolutely. Give me 90 feet.
So 2 down here in the 10th inning, and here is Manuel Margot. And again, he had 2 home runs in the home opener a year ago. Today, a walk and a single. And 1 for 3 afternoon from the leadoff hitter. That'll get away, and it's 2-0. Mentioned the home runs last year. It's the San Francisco Giants in the home opener. That one off Kane. And that one off Kane.
Those pitches almost looked identical. Two seamers that kind of leaked middle in. Spun on him.
Strike on the outside corner. Jeffress battling back. There's the first two outs here, the 10th inning. Three and one.
Good hitters count. There is a huge gap in right center field. Lorenzo Cain playing on the shortstop side of second base right through there.
Margot will take strike two. So a full count now, two down here in the 10th inning. We have Myers waiting on deck here for San Diego. Margot trying to find a way on. On the ground to shortstop, a high hop for Arcia. The low throw dug out by Braun, and to the 11th inning we go. Tied up 1-1 in San Diego. Tied it up, and into the 11th inning we go. Chase Anderson started this game so well, 6 shutout innings, but also Clayton Richard, tremendous 7 innings, just 1 earned run. Both not part of the decision now. Freddie Galvis with a couple of hits and the big one to tie the game, and Christian Yelich in his debut with the Brewers also with an RBI. It's tied up 1-1 to the 11th inning we go, and more Brad Hand. He did not throw many pitches in that inning, just 11. So Andy Green going to him again here, coming back out for another inning at least to start it.
And you look at the way the order is lined up for this 11th inning. Yelich, Braun, Shaw, the big boys, right? So why not have the big boy out there? And as you mentioned, Don, a few pitches that he threw last inning.
Strike over the outside corner. Yeah, this is a very difficult portion of the Brewers lineup. There's Ryan Braun, and then you get Travis Shaw to follow. Just off the outside edge, 2-1. Yelich will lift it in the air to center field, where Manuel Margot is waiting for out number 1 of the 11th inning. So Yelich retired, and that'll bring up Ryan Braun.
It's amazing how quickly the intensity of games switch from Peoria, Arizona to San Diego, California.
Just flip a switch,
Isn't
and here
it?
we go. This counts.
Yeah, we're not going to say after 10 innings, hey, we're knotted up. Hey, we're done. Got to go. Right?
We're out of pitching.
Yeah. Not in the big leagues. Not in the regular season.
Well, Ryan Braun with his 5th plate appearance of the day. And a little dribbler in front of the plate has Hedges jumping out there. Clears the runner and throws out Braun. 2 down.
Like a cat. Like a puma. Austin Hedges sees it right in front of him. The number gets rid of the mask. Gets in a good throwing position. Fair territory. A nice throwing lane. How he circles the ball so it's in front of him. Doesn't have to turn the shoulder. He's already in that throwing position for the 2-3 put out.
2 down here in the 11th, and it brings up Travis Shaw. Doubled in the 6th, a 1-for-4 day. And a foul to the screen for strike 1. 31 home runs a year ago for Shaw. Over 100 RBIs, 101 to be exact. Cleanup hitter for the Brewers with that open stance. Down 0-2. Of course, made a nice defensive play earlier in the game and foul ground. Had to go a long way in the shift. He was over on the second base side of short and went all the way over by his dugout to make this catch on the warning track in front of it.
Now, you see that sprint speed, 25.6? I mean, you're getting it if it's 29-30. That's really getting it.
Covered a lot of distance to get over there. Drops in for strike 3. 2 very good innings of relief for Brad Hand. A 1-2-3 11th. Tied at 1. He takes it out of the yard. Good way to start it. 3.5. First pitch of the season. Part of an 8-4 win for Chicago against the Marlins. It's a good start.
That's a good way to start.
And the Padres would like to start their season with an extra inning win. Tied 1-1 to the bottom of the 11th.
How about first pitch right here? Sending it on its way and sending everybody home happy on opening day.
Big part of the order coming up. Myers, then Hosmer. For Perella here in the 11th inning. Jeremy Jeffress with ball 1. Myers looking for his first hit of the day. Never had a walk-off win on opening day. Strike one, 1-1. Jeffress pitching the 10th inning, a 1-2-3 inning, so Craig Counsell goes back to him here for the 11th. How about Brad Hand's 2 innings of work?
Spectacular.
Came off an 8-pitch inning in the top half of this, the 11th inning, 19 total pitches in 2 innings, making pretty quick work of the Brewers in those 2 innings.
Master control with his stuff, avoiding the sweet spot of the bats of the Brewers. Absolutely terrific.
Myers will strike out looking. Dropped the breaking ball on him and picked up that outside corner for out number 1 of the 11th.
That was a knee buckler. Great rotation, and it straightens up Will Myers. Little jelly legs. Wow.
1 down in the 11th for Hosmer. 0 for 4 today in his debut with the Padres. They shift on him as he jumps back out of the way of a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Two for 2 in his career against Jeffress. A little bit high, 2-0.
Green light Hosmer here, 3-0. I say why not? If you get a pitch that's right there and it's in your wheelhouse, you can do some damage. I've always been a proponent of that. Why not?
Outside ball 4 and down to first he goes. Kind of pitch around him there. Nothing good to hit for Eric Hosmer. So a 1-out base on balls sets things up here for Jose Pirela. Look back to last year, one of the most consistent hitters that the Padres had all year was Jose Pirela. 288 average a year ago with 10 home runs. And a chance to do some damage in extra frames in San Diego. Inside for ball 1. .25 pitches now thrown by Jeffress since coming into this game. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. After the 4-pitch walk and the first pitch ball, I got the feeling Pirela was not going to swing until he got a strike. And he finally gets one, so it's 1-1. Big swing there, down 1-2.
Good movement on that 2-seamer from Jeffress down in the zone. He's trying to work for that double play. There's the 2-seamer, and Pirela's trying to elevate that pitch to do some damage in the gaps.
Jeffress with a gander over at first base. Short lead over there for Hosmer. Fouled off down by the shoe tops for Pirela. Rafi Lopez has come out on deck for the Padres. A very good spring training and part of a trio right now of catchers that the Padres are carrying to begin the season. Well, jumping back out of the way. 2-2.
Well, you can see what the MO is for Jeffress. He's trying to utilize that two-seamer in, trying to get in the kitchen of Perella. Heads up on the left side of the infield. They're playing him to pull because they know Perella sometimes pull right. He likes to pull the ball. We all know that. He will go the other way on occasion. But they're looking for that ground ball on that left side. That's why they're over towards that left field line. Shortstop Arcia and Shaw at third.
Perella bloops one into shallow right, falling fast and falling in for a hit. Hosmer's headed for third, a bobble in right by Santana, and he will fire home, but it gets Perella up to second base on the bobble in right field by Santana. Not hit hard, but well placed, and the winning run is 90 feet away for the Padres.
He got jammed, but he sent it the other way. Two-seamer in, fights it off. Now as Santana's coming in, Glenn Hoffman knows there's one out. You don't want to make that second out at the plate. We've got 2 outs to work with. Hosmer, he's going no matter what.
They introduce Rafi Lopez, and as they do, the indication from Craig Counsell, the automatic intentional walk to load the bases, as the Brewers are trying to set up a double play scenario here. So the intentional walk of the no-throw kind loads the bases, and here is Chase Headley.
I like this situation right here. A guy who knows the strike zone,
trying to win it on opening day. The Friar faithful at Petco Park stand as one. Ball 1. Eric Hosmer 90 feet away. 1 out in the 11th.
No.
Strike, and that wasn't one, I don't think.
Wow.
Borderline. No, it wasn't. Called to strike, and it's 1-1.
Just takes one.
In the air, foul off to the left out of play. And Jeffress jumps ahead here, 1-2.
I think I saw Chase kind of choking up on that shillelagh just a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 inches. A little bit more bat control, trying to pepper something to the outfield.
Whatever it takes. 1 out, bases loaded here in the 11th. Tied up, 1-1.
Does Jeffress try to bounce a breaking ball here? Good secondary lead at third.
In the air, bloop down the left field line, falling fast and falling just foul. Right down the line and only fouled by a few feet. Gives Headley another opportunity. On the ground to third base. Shaw will come home for 1. To first base, it is in time. A double play gets the Brewers out of the jam in the 11th. A grounder to third. Shaw comes homeward, and Pena goes to first base. And we'll see here. The Padres are going to challenge. Andy Green looking into the dugout. He was bang at first. No challenge from Andy Green and the Padres. We will play on. Somehow, Jeremy Jeffress and the Brewers get out of this jam. The double play. Home to first. To the 12th we go. The bases loaded scenario right there for Chase Headley.
You know, Jeffers has got that two-seam fastball, and he went to it that time. Outer half of the plate, the defense set up accordingly. So, right to the third baseman, Shaw. He plays catch with the catcher. Pena then onto first to complete. Very close at first base, but that's some big-time pitching right there by Jeffers.
Major League debut here for Adam Simber into the game now for the Padres. Made the team after a very good spring training.
A great story. Loved seeing this kid work in spring training. He's got to have some butterflies out there, and it's crunch time. Like I said earlier, this isn't Maryvale. This is not Peoria.
Leadoff single begin things here for the Brewers and Domingo Santana. Let's check back in with Scan.
Don Mudd, it's interesting. When Adam Simber was 14 years old, he was the smallest player on his baseball team. His dad told him, son, you're going to have to find something dynamic to separate yourself and be able to compete with these bigger kids. He did. He decided to throw sidearm. He's been doing it ever since, and I'd say it's worked out pretty well for him. You know, he asked guys coming into camp, what are your expectations? He was told by the Padres, you will not make this club. He definitely proved him wrong. His dad is here today to enjoy this special moment for him, guys.
And the 27-year-old, born in Portland, Oregon, resides in Seattle, Washington, a 9th-round pick in 2013, and last year AA and AAA, and this year in the majors for the first time.
You know, sometimes when a player is told just that, okay, I don't have a chance, right? Okay, well, it takes all the pressure off, right? I'm not saying that's the case for Adam, but you know, that's something maybe we can talk to about him tomorrow about. But hey, you're not going to make the club. There's no chance. Go out there and pitch when you get the chance.
This is chopped down the third baseline, foul. He made the best of his opportunity during spring training, and here he is making a big league roster for the first time.
Non-roster invitee, 10 appearances over 9 innings, scoreless baseball.
Dealing with Manny Pena with a runner at first, nobody out here in the 12th inning.
And he's got that arm action and that action on the baseball to where he can work a ground ball and possibly get 2.
On the ground towards short. There you go. Galvis to second for 1, on to first. That's 2. That'll work. Third double play turned by the Padres in this game.
And I'm sure a sigh of relief for Adam Simber as he just concentrates on working down in the zone. And hey, you know what? I'm sure Adam Simber is looking over his right shoulder and saying, boy, I didn't have shortstops like that in AA. It's nice to see Freddie Galvis out there.
Well, G-Man Choi is going to pinch hit here with 2 down in the inning. Yeah, that one's in there for strike one. Base is empty here in the 12th for the Brewers. So we're jumping back out of the way of the pitch in. Had a good spring, hitting at .409 during the spring. Did appear in 6 games with the Yankees last year, most of the year at AAA Scranton. He's the only non-roster invitee to make the team this year for the Brewers. And he's pinch hitting here with 2 down in the 12th inning. Line down the right field line. That's a fair ball headed towards the right field corner. Choi is headed for second base as Myers digs it out. And a 2-out double for the pinch hitter here for Milwaukee.
We talk about mislocation. He wanted that one down below the knees, maybe the shins, and maybe off the plate just a little bit. Ball leaks outer third enough to where Choi can get out in front of it and pull it into scoring position with 2 outs.
Gives Orlando Arcia a chance here with 2 outs and the go-ahead run in scoring position for Milwaukee. Now home plate is in the shadows and the pitcher in the mound in the sunshine. And the backdrop, of course, in the sunshine in center field. Arcia dribbles it foul and evens the count at 1-1.
You know, I'm sure that baseball out of the hand of Simber, it looks like a disco ball going in and out, right? I mean, you've been to the club, you've been clubbing. You know what it's like, you know, just dark light, like a strobe light while you're doing the Donnie dance. It's got to be tough to concentrate on and square it up.
On the ground, vacated right side of the right field, a base hit. They're going to send Choi. And a bobble out there and right, and Choi will score the go-ahead run for the Brewers. Comes in with 2 outs in the inning, a double, and then a single. And the Brewers take a 2-1 lead here in the 12th inning.
The Brewers hitting them where they ain't. That one hitting down on that baseball. And with the way Corey Spangenberg was playing at second base, ball's down the middle, 88, chops it. And with 2 outs, Choi is going on contact. Even if that ball is fielded cleanly, probably still score.
So Arcia at first base with a very big hit. And a check on him right away. Hernan Perez now batting. Pitch ran in the 10th inning. Now batting for the first time here in the 12th inning. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Looking ahead to the last of the 12th inning. Freddie Galvis, Austin Hedges, Corey Spangenberg scheduled to bat in the inning. So Simber has given up the go-ahead run for the Brewers in the top of the 12th inning. Big pinch hit double for Choi down the line and right. Set the table. Orlando Arcia. Swing and a miss, and badly fooled on that pitch. Striking out is Perez, but the damage has been done. Freddie Galvis will be coming up as we move to the bottom of the 12th. Padres now trailing by a run. A newcomer to the Brewers driving in. The starter Anderson, the Brewers run, and then Freddie Galvis drives in the tying run with Matt Caesar. Scoring in the 9th inning. Extra frames, a chance for the Padres. The bases loaded, one out. Chase Headley grounding into the 5-2-3 DP, and Jeremy Jeffress out of that jam. And then Orlando Arcia sends one into right field and scores Toy from second base and gives the Brewers a 2-1 advantage. In the top of the 12th, Padres coming up in the bottom of the 12th inning. And a new pitcher on for Milwaukee as Jacob Barnes now into the game.
Well, the Brewers fought back. Now it's time for San Diego to possibly fight back. And last season, 73 games. Heavy workload for the right-hander. Decent splits as well. Lefties had the better go, about 235 average. Righties not so much. Just a tick below 200.
Freddie Galvis, who will lead it off here in the bottom of the 12th inning. And takes a look at strike one over the outside corner. And Jeremy Jeffress, who is now the pitcher of record for the Brewers, 2 shutout innings, and he got out of that bases loaded jam in the 11th. Now Galvis will pop it up foul. That'll get out of play.
Another upper 90s guy for Barnes. Running fastball. And that's exactly what Jeffress did. Worked that two-seamer against the lefty Headley to get that 5-2-3 double play.
Bounces in and hits the catcher Pena. Not sure it got Pena, but that mask comes off and popped well in front of the plate. To check on him, Craig Counsell, the manager out there.
Breaky ball. It's going to check back up off the
wrist.
Oh yeah, left wrist.
Pena okay, going to stay in the game here. Two and two. Galvis, Hedges, and Spangenberg expected here in the bottom of the 12th inning. Well, the Padres now trailing by a run. Swing and a miss, and Galvis is out number 1 of the 12th inning.
Went back to the breaking ball for the strikeout. You see the spin. That's the slider swinging right over the top of it, and the pick, and then applies the tag for the putout.
So 1 down here in the 12th inning, and it brings up Austin Hedges. 0 for 4 today. 3 strikeouts today for Hedges. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Barnes with a good heat, 97 on that last delivery. Padres have left 8 men on base. The Brewers have left 7. Two and 1 to Austin Hedges with 1 down here in the 12th. Fouled off to the right out of play, and it's 2 and 2. Hedges now, Spangenberg waiting on deck. Brewers got their run in the top half of this inning after there were 2 outs in the inning. Ball 3, full count.
Well, good layoff that slider.
Popped up foul, back and out of play. And the starters not part of the decision here today. Both did very well, though. Chase Anderson, 6 shutout innings for the Brewers. Clayton Richard, 7 innings, giving up just the 1 run.
Talk about the benches for this game. The one big blow was that extra base hit, right? Coming off the bench, Choi.
Hedges strikes out for the 4th time today, and there are 2 outs here in the 12th inning.
That's being clutch with that double. As we take a look at this last pitch, coming right after Austin Hedges at 98. After slider, turns it up a little bit and blows the fastball right by him.
So the Padres down to their last out with 2 down here in the 12th inning, and Corey Spangenberg coming up. Take strike 1. Spangenberg grounded out to shortstop in the 10th, coming off the bench. Choi with a big double that set the table and gave the Brewers the opportunity to take the lead in the top half of this, the 12th inning. Staying away, and it's 2 and 1 to Spangenberg. Big hit. Garcia driving in the go-ahead run. That's strike 2, and it evens up at 2 and 2. The Padres had their best opportunity with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 11th. They could not score against Jeremy Jeffress. Swing and a miss. Spangenberg strikes out, and the Milwaukee Brewers have come away with the victory in 12 innings as they're able to down the Padres 2-1. final score again. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?
Johnny and Mark, we're going to see in just a couple of moments of Padres Live, the post-game show. You're going to hear from Andy Green as he tells us what he felt like was a difference maker in today's first game of the season. All that, plus we wrap up the opening day festivities in moments.